Okay, well, I'm streaming, so.
Alright. I'm hitting go live.
Oh, okay.
Go live. There we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Trekyards.
That's us!
What? I have to do something now?
Well, have to. But, Stuart!
What?
We are compelled to be the definitive YouTube Star Trek ranking system known to all humankind. Those out there in the internet land are waiting for us to make our mark on this universe with these rankings. So we don't have to, but we are being compelled.
That's fair.
I'm not going to say it's the Great Koala, but it could be the Great Koala.
Yeah. We're not the only game in town, but hey, I hope that we take things and kind of put them into perspective for people anyway.
Yeah,
So,
both more old school and the more new school, the filmmaker and the re-watches Trek a lot more than I do to refresh himself the fuck's going on. Because I don't do that so much, which is fine.
so how are you doing after today's festivities?
Yeah, we did some filming with guest XYBD. You'll find out. And then I went to the shops in a very cold winter's day, frost everywhere. So as soon as I got back in, my ears are burning, my nose is burning. I remember doing some Defiant renders and some people converting. Mixed
People
day.
converting.
Yes,
Nice.
as a 3D model people. So
I was going to say.
Yeah. To the Great Koala, yeah. Lots of small things today. I don't feel like I've done very much, but I have just lots of small things, which obviously mount up. And yourself?
Yeah. Pretty good. Didn't do much after we talked last, so kind of cleaned up around the house a bit and did a few things here, did dishes and stuff. You know, those kind of things.
And I'm also 23 minutes through your Tommy versus Pearl Lights video.
Oh, nice.
Interesting, yeah. Any plug for that while you're here? Because it's, you know, pretty useful resource out there for those that are interested.
Well, if anybody's interested, the Captain Foley personal channel, I do have a comparison video of the Tomy Enterprise with my Polar Lights 350, and it's quite an interesting video. I suggest you might want to check it out. Got some good comments on it so far. So.
And neither are cheap, therefore, to have such a comparison, you have to have had a pretty legacy investment. So to see them side by side is kind of rare, I would assume.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
useful
Well,
resource there. And there's definitely some
I've seen
differences. So.
Yeah, I've seen a few people that have like, I have 4 of these Polar Lights ones, and it's like, well, da-di-da-di-da.
No
I
house,
wouldn't have room for
wife,
4.
kids, but 4
Yeah.
Polar Lights kids.
Yeah.
Goodness.
So, anyway.
Are they all the Enterprise, though? 'Cause I feel like if you're going to end up getting more than one, you've got to get all 12 and have them be the Connie fleet.
That'd be cool.
Except now
cool.
you've got to like rip apart your Farragut model and then rebuild it as a Stranger Worlds single nacelle. Just throw it to the ground and then heavily kit bash it.
Well,
oh, there's a poll as well.
there is a poll already. Favorite captains of these ones: Kirk,
Ooh.
Picard, Sisko, or Janeway?
That's a real bitch
Interesting
slap of a
results.
poll, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's like choose your favorite child.
I was going to put Archer on there instead of Janeway, and then I thought he would have been like, but what about Janeway? You don't like women. So, of course, I had to put Janeway on.
Jesus.
I just had a feeling.
I feel like Archer would be in the lower rankings anyway. Of the 4, I mean.
Yeah. So that just speaks to what we're doing today.
Collective.
We are going to be tier list ranking the captains. We've got like 45 of them. Good God, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, this isn't just the captains. This is the captains. Remember my pictures? I said do 2 different days. We decided to condense, but then I think I found 36 myself, and I said, right, anyone else? Find, and that list grew and grew to the kind of the encyclopedic version of the captains. So you'll believe me, you will have forgotten about a good chunk of these.
Yeah, probably.
Because this sort of list is pretty definitive. I'm going to start showing.
Yeah, it'll be a fun discussion for sure, guys. So hit that like button. 39 of you here, 16 likes. Hit the like button. Let's try to get up to 50 right away. And be sure to check out the options. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you check out the join button. See if you want to join the channel. You can also join over on Patreon/Trekyards. That is another way to support us if you so choose. Anything that you guys can do to help out, we really appreciate. And one of the most important things is super chatting during these lives. We do really appreciate the support, and it does help support the channel and keeps us going. So if you can, please do. And in these tier rankings, your super chats can actually make a little bit of a difference and bump a few things. Should you be so passionate about something and make a good enough argument with a super chat, we will consider moving one or two things on the tier list, because some of them
happens every time as well. Almost.
Some of them just barely sneak into where they are, and it's like a little push, a nudge here and there will move it one way or the other. So it's worth noting that your voice has power here. So, and we want to hear from you guys. So if you can help, please do. Also, check out the links down below. There are links to our Teespring, TeePublic, and the awayteamgear.com stuff. Go check it out. I want to see Trekyards merch on you guys. It's just the way it is. Because it's great seeing someone walk up to us at a convention wearing a Trekyard shirt. It's happened a few times.
Well, not just that, but even if we don't make a huge cut, the fun of seeing that in Vegas next year would be immense. So get those shirts, get your flights to Vegas. One might be more expensive than the other, but both equally cool, kind of. And then come and see us at Vegas in a Trekyard shirt. That would be amazing.
It would be. So, 42 people here now. I'm just going to remind everybody again, hit like. We only have 24 likes. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
Okay, so this is going to be an interesting list. Where do we begin? I guess just throwing some into the ring, eh?
Yeah, well, you can open it to the chat and see who they want to be the first captain we talk about. Well, let's throw out a captain's name.
Yeah, I'll throw in the first one just to get the ball rolling. I want to talk about Sulu.
Sulu?
George Takei himself. I mean, I've got a soft spot for Sulu anyway, with the great lamenting of me was to never have a show with him or a further movie. He totally could have ran it as a movie and kept it going. Charismatic actor, has his own silliness that he embraces. As a captain, he's clearly strong, he's sensible, he's passionate, he's intelligent. He didn't necessarily have a specific rank on the ship per se, as in, not necessarily interchangeable, but he's there, he's part of the crew. But as captain, he kind of worked well, and I think I'd be very happy to serve under Sulu, and I think he represents a lot of good stuff. I don't know what he specializes in necessarily, but as a very, very competent captain, I would consider him quite high.
Yeah, we missed out on more Sulu for sure, and it's funny because I've been watching Retro Badger's replay of Shattered Universe, where he's playing every mission, and there's so much Sulu in that. So it's actually kind of apropos that you picked that. Yeah, he's somebody I'd want to serve under, I think, just because he seems like he would really care about the crew, but he's also super strict at times. He's somebody you wouldn't want to piss off. His weakness is, of course, tea, not coffee, like some other people. But yeah, we really missed out on getting more Sulu as captain. But I gotta say, Flashback and stuff was a good opportunity to see him shine as well. So, I think he's a fantastic captain, and I think he had good tutelage under Kirk. Because, then the actors might not respect each other, but the characters definitely did. So,
well, and to stay on Enterprise well past his rank would necessitate. Yeah. Showed he was learning lots. He was wanting to stay and do good things for Starfleet, etc. Like I said, I don't know what his speciality would be, but like you said, yeah, he's strict, but also can have fun and play. I think he's a well-balanced captain. I'd be happy to put him straight in an A, honestly, for like where I'd rank him personally at quality.
Yeah, from what we've seen, yeah. Again, this is all based on what we've seen of them. Some we haven't when we do our rankings, but I'm happy to put him at an A. I think serving under Kirk all those years would have definitely helped him become a very good captain. So, yeah.
Excellent.
I'm down.
Excellent.
Cool.
And Ghost Dragons are Sulu as well. Way.
I guess it's my turn to bring somebody in.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about Captain Ramsey.
Oh, what a cutie.
She's absolutely adorable, yes, which gives her the good bump up on the list. We haven't seen much from her, but I gotta say, for her to be the same age or same classes as Mariner and to head straight for the top of captain so quickly is either a miracle or she's fantastically good at her job. So I think she probably ranks, from what we've seen, I'm willing to say a B right off the top. At least. And she's pretty, so you can't go wrong with that.
All those 45 pixels of her eyes. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sulu got a top tier ship and a flagship. Clearly talented within talented. She got a California, which is a very low tier ship, so she might be very good at that. I'm just trying to devil's advocate here, just for web placement. But I could certainly see her being pushed past that. Certainly a good first assignment. I mean, you've said this many times, and I'll reiterate, 'cause it's a fair point. Yes, the grounds for captaincy was very strict at a point, but with the Dominion War losing so many high-ranking officers, the bar to be a captain probably shrank a bit, and that's around the same time. I don't love that as a concept, but it's probably fair in some way. So just a small thing there. But yeah, she seems caring, capable. She was in the episode reacting to Mariner and the destruction of the situation, so or what was happening, so more reactive to what we saw. But, I mean, competent. They didn't portray her very badly. Clearly Lightberg crew, probably a bit too friendly to the average captain, potentially. I would not think from her strict. But I think B for quality. I mean, she didn't do anything wrong, and she vibed well. I would certainly be fine to serve under her as a you did good sort of thing. Yeah, just vibe-wise, yeah.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to serve under her.
But I think she can certainly go above, get on top of that situation, Stuart, and rise up the flagpole onto, say, Excelsior or New Orleans or something higher than the California class.
Yeah, she could definitely ride that out for sure. So,
all the way to the top.
Maybe that's how she got her captaincy so fast. I don't know.
Oh, me again.
Being a good captain.
Me again.
You get to pick.
I do. Okay, let's do a funny one. Let's do Styles from Star Trek 3, the never seen the captain's chair again captain. This is such a weird one, right? He's a dickhead. But so is Jellico, right? And those are not quantifiers to being a bad captain. Just like, and I'm going to obviously defend John Harron when we get there, he was given command of the next best ship after the Enterprise. Not the next Enterprise, but the first of the class of the next best ship, far outstretching Enterprise in terms of constitution. So he was obviously very, very talented. Already bullied his way into that place, but I don't know if that's necessarily the vibe. Strict, regimented, quality. I mean, he got trying to get Scotty straight away, so he knew how to delegate tasks to quality people, etc. And I mean, I'm not going to necessarily take points away from him from being messed up by Scotty, a very, very talented officer. It's like saying, "Oh, if Kirk got the better of you, you're a bad captain." No, that's because Kirk is getting better of you. So
yeah,
I don't know. What do you think?
I got to take points away from him for his swagger stick. To have a swagger stick is a little bit arrogant, I think. Plus, he files his nails. I don't know. No, he definitely was strict, kind of to the point of being an asshole. But we didn't see much of him, and the situation was very like when a Starfleet's most legendary captain is stealing their ship. I don't know how to react to this. So,
well, I mean, look at the situation. Wasn't he in the right?
Oh, absolutely, he was. Yeah.
So he's not like a bad admiral. He did his right job. He tried. He was good at test transport drive. He didn't fire on them. Like, he did everything right, just in a dickish way. But you know what I mean? Like, he didn't do anything wrong. And again, he got the first Excelsior. Yeah, that's a high play.
Testing out new systems, transwarp drive and stuff.
I want to say C just for legacy factor. Because he didn't do anything wrong, right? He's not like started a war with the Cardassians. He didn't actively do bad things. He just failed to live up to. So I feel like you've got to be fair to bad things they do,
That's fair. Yeah. But yeah, he's obviously earned the position of
Yeah.
being on the Excelsior doing that. So, um, C is fine with me. Yeah, we didn't see enough of him to make any other
That's a lot
calls.
of these people, though, in fairness. So
Yeah, and we're not. I know, and we're not taking beta canon stuff into consideration here today. So
I didn't even. I know nothing of his beta canon anyway.
I don't either, but I'm sure he's. I'm sure he's in something. Come on now.
Every book in every place, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's 3 out of the way. Guys, what do you think? Let us know. Does any of them need to be bumped at all? Now's the time. Speak up. Let's see. Who should I put in next?
In the ring.
All right.
There's a lot of fun curveballs here, isn't there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll surprise you with boom, baby, Captain of the Kelvin.
Rabao.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's incompetent to the point where he didn't have his combat or his delta on. It wasn't a combat, it was just a delta between scenes. It fell off or something. And the fact that he's like, I'm going to hop on a shuttle and go over there and introduce myself to these strange people and get murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a good captain. JJ Verse kind of screwed it for him. I'm sorry.
He allowed concrete in his engineering room. In a secondary hull. He let that be concrete. You know, that's a real flaw there.
Yeah. Well, he was given a shit ship, so he can't be a good captain, right?
He could have redecorated. He has the power with the concrete in the walls.
Oh my god, yeah. Go down there with a sledgehammer one day. I'm redecorating.
It's so tricky, isn't it? And we also don't know how conceptually where a Kelvin is in the ranking of ships.
Yeah.
It's pre-TOS. It looks nice enough. It's well armed. It's big, obviously. It's I think they say deep space-ish, explorer-ish. Hard to say. I liked his performance though, from a pure presentation perspective. But it is hard for me to to justify going over to the enemy ship. You know, even if you buy time, how much time can you buy? You're gonna get killed. Like it's not a good play.
It seemed like a grand gesture, like he was trying to say, "Hey, look, I'm willing to bring myself over. You know, make sure my ship is fine, whatever." But it didn't seem to fit the scenario, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I got to give him a D at least.
We didn't kill anybody. Some of these people did, so yeah. I mean, D's fair. Not a good captain. And yeah, the comm badge. He really should have kept that comm badge stuck on more Velcro. You know.
Well, it wasn't a comm badge. It's just a delta.
Sorry, Delta. Yeah. He's a funny old one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's your turn. Yay.
Ooh. You know what? Let's go Giorgio.
Giorgio?
Okay. Now, this is a clarifying one because, of course, we're talking about Captain Giorgio, who's only in 2 episodes and short treks, not Empress Giorgio, she was in everything else. So we only have maybe like 15 minutes of screen time. So that's all we have, right? Just to be clear. I mean, she's not very good as a captain. I'll be honest. And all you really think of is the Empress, right? Is the character traits, because she's just sort of there, you know. Is that all my argument? I don't know. I'm trying to think back to the episode.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
She was kind of there.
She was kind of grooming Burnham to be the captain at the very beginning, and then Burnham turns on her, and she immediately sends her to the brig. So I mean, she does what she's supposed to do.
But why did she just warp away when the Klingons warped in? But she's on a low-end ship, of course. I mean, they say she's famous, but we didn't see any of it. She gets eaten, of course. There's nothing. I mean, there's nothing in her episode, 2 episodes, that shows she's a good captain specifically. She's just kind of there. She's a real lack of anything, you know.
Yeah.
That's weird. I thought I had more to say, but there's nothing there.
Yeah. All right. I want a little bit of help from the chat at least. Where do you think she should be, guys? Based on your love or hate of Discovery. Yeah.
And she was. I mean, you could say she was smart because she made the delta in the sand, but also you could say she was dumb because deltas in sand would get blown away by wind.
Which was windy, I think, at the time.
There's no reason that would work. It's a stupid thing to do, and it would not have worked.
Yeah.
And it's a low-end ship. Like I say, it's not a good posting. She did get Saru, but okay. Someone called out and she said she responded, right? There's nothing there that it makes her special.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen more of her as doing something captain-y, because all we got is Empress. But there's no chance of that because she's very dead.
Yeah. I'm very happy to slot her in at a D.
Yeah, I would put the same as Raval.
And the chat seems to agree, so...
Yeah. Because at least Styles earned a posting of being a high-end ship. This is just some ship, right? It was because they already said it was old by the time of the flashback when they got Burnham. So she's like a 30-year-old ship, and if she's been captaining for like 7 or 8 years, then she's not earning promotion higher to a better ship. You know?
Maybe she just really liked her ship.
Well, exactly, but then okay, you're not getting very important missions, doing very important things. Hey, at least she didn't fall for sonar in space. Anyone would make sense. I really thought I had something in the barrel for that. That shows how limiting these captains are.
Yeah. I don't know if we're missing one. I was looking at the Discovery era people. Are we missing? Oh, that's Admiral Anderson. Okay, yeah, that's Admiral Anderson. He's the guy I like. Never mind then. All right. Okay. Let's see. Let's go with. All right. Let's go more recent. Pull up Rios. The captain that got a captaincy because everyone loved him, and he's a good actor. He's the only really good part of season 1 and 2 of Picard for me.
Briefly to ask, are we including his non-Starfleet captain episodes where he's renegade captain, or just his moments as Starfleet captain? Because they kind of perform differently.
That's a good question. I would say Starfleet captain, but we
Me too.
don't see much. But poor Christabel. He didn't command the Stargazer long, but I liked his captaining style. I liked his kind of friendly, approachable attitude. A lot of people will take issue with the fact he has a cigar on the bridge, but he never lights it, so it's fine. It's like his swagger stick. I love the actor, and I think he was the best part of seasons 1 and 2 for sure. And seeing him on the bridge of the Stargazer was great. And everybody called those first 2 episodes, or the first episode, oh, we need a Stargazer show with Rios. Because we got Pike because we complained and we wanted Pike to get his own show. And everybody wanted that. And it's like, all right, cool. Let's see how this season plays. Oh, shit. All right. Well, also to stay back in time and screw the temporal prime directive. Like, you can't really make many alterations or changes because you could definitely affect somebody or something to really screw up the future. So I think his choice to stay back was also misguided, which kind of knocks him down actually a few pegs as far as I'm concerned.
Also, he is there, don't worry. We've got lots and lots of pictures, don't worry.
Oh yeah, we got 45 captains to look at, so yeah. I also want to consider in my rankings if I'd want to serve under them. I wouldn't feel like I'd want to serve under Styles. Rios, okay. What are your thoughts on Rios before I decide?
Very interesting. I give him mad props for going from civilian captain with a lot of his own style, and you get into a habit of the way you do things. He was so effortlessly then a Starfleet captain that I thought took a lot of courage to raise yourself to that new standard, because it's not an easy transition. Obviously, he was second in command, which is not captain yet. You can be second in command for a long time, freelance captain, and then boom. So good for him. That's a point, because he felt very natural. Quite a free-loving captain, but you could tell he would yell if he needs to. He'd be action if he needs to. I'm fine with the cigar. He never lights it. Not a problem. That's a habit. Whatever. Look great in uniform. Chill. I mean, probably too chill a little bit, but there are certainly. I mean, Riker's very chill, so that's not a problem. I mean, you got the Stargazer, which they say is a new ship, and well, no, they say it's a refit, blah, 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 blah. But it's quite a prestigious ship, and he was handpicked, so that's a thing in his whatever. But when you got onto the situation, I mean, all we really have is his one incident with the Borg, and I don't remember Rios doing really anything in that scene. I know Picard's in the center seat; it's his moment, but just like with Shaw and Vadik, he does jack shit to get out of the situation, which lets down his crew, himself, and his captaining. Rios does nothing in that situation to warrant him being high in the ranking, because he couldn't deal with it's not a simple situation, but he didn't even try. That's entirely script, story, and plot, but you can at least give the guy a bonus doing some plan. If you throw other captains in a bad situation, you can tell they're thinking. He's just sort of there. So
Yeah,
happy to give him science captain, happy to give him general peacetime, absolutely fine. But I'd be C or B, I'd low B, high C, because I like the guy. But
yeah, I was thinking C. He's way likable. But captains should be like dads. As a kid, you need a dad.
He's a
you
happy
don't need
uncle.
a friend. Yeah, but you don't need a friend necessarily in a captain. You need a captain, right? So. Yeah. Some people can straddle that line fairly well. Picard kind of divorces himself from it. He lets Riker handle everybody. He's very kind of standoffish with people that aren't in his inner circle. So, but Rios, you can see just knowing everybody on the ship and hanging out with everybody, right? So
he's.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, he's a cool uncle that's like only 5 years older than you.
Yeah,
little bit older. I mean, put it between B and C and let the super chats determine, right? Because I think that's a fair.
Okay.
I think I'm on either, because he is. I think he would have been a good captain. Although I do agree, his time travel mishap, he made lots of bad choices.
Yeah.
So as a character, that was season 2 did him dirty, but his captaincy as well, but not when he was doing the mission stuff, because he didn't do such a good job, on world.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking C, but yeah, I'm willing to put him between B and C.
So super chat guys, your thoughts. Tell us which one, a 5 or 2 or 3, whatever dollars. Choose which way, because I'm in between.
And Olivia throws in $10. My favorite captain in Trekyards is Captain Cockings. After 8 years on the USS Trekyards under Captain Foley, Captain Cockings had to take over when Foley got eaten by Cockings' Targ. That last part sounds really awful.
That's incredibly specific. And I just got really gruesome visuals there. But at least you're holding on to 350 style Enterprise there, Stu. At least you finally got it and you could hold up. You're like, oh, bro.
That's true.
But yeah, let us know via Super Chat, guys, which one you think where it should be. We'll let you guys decide. Me next, again, I suppose. Let's go Garrett. Let's go Garrett. Enterprise captain. Bosch should be quite high. I mean, there's a in theory there's 2 ways of looking at her, right? There's the original timeline where she ran in and defended Klingon colony. I'm assuming, the fact that Klingons liked her sort of to the death in a very honourable, good way. At that point, it's all captaincy. It's going down the ship. It's firing phases. It's picking the targets, taking as much of them out with you as you can. And I get the sense in the episode she bravely walked into that lion's pit of, I think we're all going to get killed in 10 seconds. Let's fire 10 more torpedoes. I have no doubt she bravely did that. And what a bold move. What we saw of her, she was considered, she was strong, she was still emotive in that she was going to argue her point strongly with Picard. She wasn't burned by war, by those drama. Like, even though she just got in an almost death fight, she wasn't hurt by it. she could deal with it and move forward. Cared for her crew. I'm always going to have the visual of her death in my head because it's a really gruesome little moment. We didn't see anything of her, obviously, really beyond that. But I have good vibes for her. And that's one of my thoughts.
Well, she was good enough to get a statue in Picard, so I mean, hey.
Yeah.
No, I agree with everything you said there. I think she was a fantastic captain for doing what she did to step in and help the Klingons, even though that wasn't necessarily, we weren't at peace with the Klingons at that point, but, saving a colony. Mm-hmm. And you're right, she did not fold to Picard, even though he had years of experience and knowledge, which she probably had as well, but he was from the future, so you know all this. Anyway, and it's a very strong captain.
And ER says she ran in, defended the colony in both timelines. Yeah, to choose to go back.
Mm-hmm. Knowing what's going to happen, yeah.
Knowing what's going to happen. I mean, that's universal, literally universal weight on her shoulders, and you're moving forward regardless. I feel like Picard would have done it as well.
Yeah, he would have.
But I don't know how he would have reacted to it because he's such a different person. So the fact that she just did it, really brave. Would you say braver than Sulu?
Don't know.
I feel like I would instinctively. As a person.
See, I was going to say A tier, and then you said, going to face her death, and she knew that was going to happen. But that's every Starfleet officer when they put on the uniform has to come to that realization at some point, I guess. Now I'm wondering if she should be S tier, A or S. Yeah, all you're thinking. Chuck A, $2. Captain Foley and Commander Cocking, such a great list. Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad you're enjoying it.
Why don't we say low S? Just because there's one instant we can call to, we don't know anything else. But it is such a boss move.
There's also the captain of the flagship, so...
Yeah, no, for sure. But we don't know the missions, so it's hard to judge. But it's such a powerful statement that she did.
Yeah.
Or between S and A and let the audience decide as well. I'm happy either way.
Well, let's see what the general chat says, where they think. If it should be between or in one or the other, I'd like to know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We got an A. No S, only A tier, Garrett. Not an S, A tops.
Well, ER, probably a lot of people have statues because you want to have fun monuments.
She died. She died in line of service. That's why she got a statue. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I mean, I'm sure many do.
Well, the chat seems to think A, so I'll slip her down to A. That was my initial thought too.
Yeah, mine as well. But your argument was good as well.
Yeah.
Let's go strong A.
Okay. That's fair. That is very fair. All right. Let's see what I want to do next. Ooh. This will be a good one. Good discussion here. Captain Maxwell. From the Wounded. As far as I'm concerned, he was a fantastic captain, even to the end. However, he kind of lost sight of a few things and went a little too off the deep end. He didn't trust in the proper channels, I don't think, and as a result, kind of took things in his own hands, became a vigilante. But I think up to that point, he was a fantastic captain. And then also, he was a captain that somehow allowed O'Brien to beam on his ship and walk into his ready room, where he could have been killed if that was somebody else. That's lacks security and staffing on your ship, I guess. I think prior to this episode, I think he would have probably been an S or an A tier captain. And I can't take a lot away from him. He had the right idea. He was technically correct. He just didn't trust in the proper channels and kind of went off script a little bit. And even Picard knew that, he was right, but there's ways to go about things. And that's stepping over the line of what it is to be a captain. You need to follow the regulations as well. So whatever I was going to rank him at, I got to drop him at least one tier down as a result of that. But I still think he was a good captain leading up to that. Everything we heard from O'Brien as well. So there you go.
He suffers from non-main character syndrome.
Yes.
Because if this was the Star Trek Captain Maxwell, doesn't matter what he did, the story would justify it just enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he'd be the hero we're following. I mean, what he did is way less bad than Sisko actively trying to genocide a planet. Because that torpedo would have hit and killed everybody. He wasn't stopping it. He was letting that happen to be the greater good. That's far worse than destroying 3 warships. You know, like, just ethically, right? There were civilians there. So, if you're the hero, you can justify things. That said, he was technically right, and he was PTSDing all over the place. In that he served massively in that border war that we totally knew about. And so when he was brought in with a situation, which he was correct about, he went into a wartime footing, in which case what he did would have made total sense because you're allowed to kill combatants who are chasing him, whatever, in a wartime. But he wasn't at wartime, and that makes it unethical from his view, from the grander viewpoint. But if that had been 5 years earlier, 10 years later, the Dominion War,
he might have been hailed a hero.
Exactly, yeah. So that's what's tricky, right? Now, you could argue that he was really brave to go against Starfleet, to risk, and we know his crew voted with him, so he had the support of his all crew, to actively, as I say, other heroes in Trek say, F this to, well, insurrection, right? F the Starfleet, F the chain of command. I'm doing what I think is right, and it, again, was the right thing, but in the wrong way.
And they're good enough. They're a good enough captain that their crew supports their decisions because they've always made right decisions up to this point.
Yep. So it's like I say, he has non-main character syndrome there, and he was the villain of the episode, but he was charming and he wasn't crazy. It's a hard line. He was certain in his convictions. He wasn't crazy, but he was the villain of the piece, right? In theory, but he did allow himself to be talked down. Despite that meaning prison, and Cardassians doing more bad things, more people maybe dying. I mean, it's such a hard thing to look at after the fact. What do you think, ranking wise? Because he's
I was thinking B, because I assume he was probably an S or an A tier. And like I said, he had to get knocked down after kind of going off.
Yeah.
Because he projects a very confident captain. We've heard from O'Brien, who served under him. Even O'Brien was like, I can't see him doing that. What's going on, right? Like,
there's gonna be a reason. Seemed
out of character for him. So he was a good captain for sure. And like you just said, to the point where his entire crew backed his decision. So
I feel like though, because he did kind of kill some Cardassians, put him with Rios B/C and then see what the fans think, because I'm okay with B, but it feels odd a little bit. I'm in between again.
I think Rios did something worse by staying back in the past.
Okay, that's true.
There's way more ramifications from that than just killing a ship or two of Cardassians.
That is true. What do you guys think? I'm on that line. I'm on that fine line. Because like I say, he was the villain of that episode. Taking a B seems odd, but I would love to have had another mention somewhere else to recontextualize the story. He was only in prison, so Dominion War maybe pulled him out and did something. It would have been so interesting to see him like late DS9 and like here he is again.
Pull him out of prison during the Dominion War. There's Cardassians. Sick him.
Yeah.
Big ship.
Yeah,
kinda. No, we're pulling you out of prison. You get to fight in the Dominion War because we need captains. But you know what? You're getting a Miranda class. Screw you. Man.
It's called Majestic. Yeah. Oh, good one, Chuck. Thank you. Please watch.
It's kind of split between A and B.
Oh, no, it's not A.
No, I'm going to put him in B.
Okay.
I think he deserves a solid. Yeah.
Also, looks very good in the TNG uniform.
Yes.
He looks very smart. Okay.
Nice.
Should we go even more controversial?
Sure.
Ransom. Let's push those ethics even further. With Ransom, not Ransom from Lower Decks, of course. Rudy Ransom from Equinox. This is a dark tale, of course. Captain that was extremely highly regarded. He was a captain for a very long time. He was known and really appreciated by Janeway, who herself is a top-tier explorer. She looked up to him. I think, they say they're the most first contacts, over 15, 20. So, consummate Starfleet professional, impeccable record. Then he was taken in a very piddly little ship with 100 people, less than 100, into the Delta Quadrant, and everything bad happened. And he managed to survive everything. Obviously, he was down for 30 people, but his crew, his ship, he did impossible things to keep his crew alive. Not happy, not well, but alive. And he pushed that one step further. He took an accidental alien death accident, used it as an amazing source of fuel to wit, dinosaurs, but obviously they weren't alive. And he thought, this is how I get my crew home. I can do it. I can make them live. That is the first duty of Starfleet, is to protect your crew. That's why and he was doing that, of course. But it was mass murder of an alien race. But then, of course, Janeway gave Borg technology to anti-8472, and it killed every one of these captains. Kind of killed lots of people. We're just adding the more gruesomeness to the fact that he's doing it on a one-to-one basis with these aliens. But many people killed many things. I mean, one ship destroyed, one Krenim ship killed by Voyager is 30. It's 100 people. That's 100 times aliens. You know what I mean? It's war versus life, but I mean, there's definitely something you could equate to every captain for the situation. But that's the moral of the story, right? Going rogue, going evil. What do you think?
Well, I think Janeway even pointed out that he wasn't always the best of captains, as Trekyards said there. He was known to run and hide as part of a tactic, but that's a tactic. So he was a consummate Starfleet officer. The first contact thing is great. That's what Starfleet's all about. And to be able to survive as long as they did on that ship, dealing with what they dealt with, he just took the rule book and threw it out the window because it's the Delta Quadrant. So
70 years from home. I mean, I won't live to see home, but I can help my people get home.
Yeah, we need to do what we need to do. But then he did go a little bit off the rails. He did go crazy, I think, more so than Maxwell did, for sure. I think he deserves a D.
Oh, but he wasn't stupid, though. Giorgio and Rabal both were stupid. He was not stupid.
That's true. Okay, C.
I think he did way more impressive things than Maxwell. And he killed less things than Maxwell. Right? He did, But of course that was to save a greater good. This would save his people. Needs the one, needs the few. I mean, I'll go C, because I think it's like saying, can one thing ruin your entire legacy? If so, then Maxwell should be lower. You know?
That's true.
So I think C, because he was explicitly, oh my god, I'm a fan. And that's why it hurt so much, because he was the best of them, and therefore the fall was further. And a phenomenal performance from the actor. Did a wonderful job. I mean, it's one of the best Voyager episodes, so yeah.
I'm happy with C, sure, for those reasons. Yeah. Nobody agrees with us, but that's okay. If you want to knock it down, guys, let us know.
Yeah.
First contact, though. Remember, 43 months at the rank of commander.
Oh, amazing! Thank you,
Captain Maxwell. We need you to fight. You have your choice of ship: the USS Sitak or the USS Majestic.
Good luck. Yeah.
And Shea Locomotive Productions. Remember, for 9 months at the rank of ensign. Ransom is F tier.
Oh.
Oof. Got very little support on this one.
I mean, then put Maxwell lower too. He broke his oath. and killed loads of Cardassians. I mean, and you know, that's what I mean. It's like if we're making those hard choices, and then you could argue, Rios also betrayed time, and you know, could have ruined the entire timeline, which they just fixed.
But Rios was also captain for like what, 3 months?
Yeah.
He didn't have a long run either, so he's like, screw this.
Yeah. Sure. It's a good ship though, because you know.
It is.
Yeah, it's interesting. Contrast is important with these things, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But that's worth noting now. Bad mistakes now can effectively ruin this ranking for, you know, their choices can. And Sisko did try and genocide a planet. I'm just saying.
Hashtag Sisko did nothing wrong.
Well, I mean, to just get some guy out of hiding who's going to kill an entire planet, that ain't ethical. That ain't right. Wasn't trying to save anybody. Just saying.
Oh.
Right, you go next.
Yeah. We're going to bring Sisko.
Okay.
To
well, he's a god, Stuart. So what can you say about
your harsh
god?
words against him? He looks adequately pissed off in this picture for what you just said. Sisko is, I think, my favorite captain. I just love his attitude. He is very much when things need to get done, they get done. And he doesn't take shit from anybody. So much so to the point that Worf is afraid of him, which I love when he found that out. He was on top of the world when he heard that. Worf's afraid of me. So yeah, I think he had to make a lot of harsh decisions. He got command of a station while being a commander still. Had to deal with the death of his wife and raise his son. That's a lot on his plate. And then to be thrust into the whole being the prophet thing. It was a shitty deal all around, I think, and I think he dealt with it sterlingly. Also to the point where he trusted Eddington implicitly. Eddington betrayed him, and I don't think he was necessarily as mad at Eddington as he was at himself. And as a result, he had a little bit of a Captain Ahab approach to Eddington. And the Maquis, I never agreed with the Maquis anyway, so I don't think he did anything wrong by threatening to do what he was going to do. Those hard decisions have to be made sometimes, and I think Sisko is just enough of a badass to do that and get away with it. I think he might have had a little bit of problem at court-martial time, but I think he might have got away with it. I don't know. I just think Sisko is a badass, and I love the character. I love Avery Brooks. I love his character before this, Hawk. And known as Hawk.
The thing about Sisko is that he is a reverse Maxwell thing. He benefits from main character syndrome. I can't think of anything he did.
That's true.
I can't think of anything he did wrong, because anything he did that was a bit out of kilter, the plot justified, right?
Yeah.
He was never really given repercussions or pushback from his actions, because he wasn't allowed to make choices in the script that weren't like, well, this is a war, let's do this. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking he's obviously the best because he did big things in big situations, but he didn't. You know what I mean? It's a purely plot thing, but he was so protected as a character that he was always right, and he kind of felt always right. Now I'm thinking back, because like Kirk was proved like he was shown wrong sometimes, and Sisko rarely had that. Even the famous one, you know, choosing to kill a Romulan, it vibes he's right, even though it's meant to be his vibes he's right. There's not really any two ways about it. It's like, you know, it sucks, but he had to do the bad thing for the right reason. Blah, blah, blah. He's still right, unfortunately. So, you know, it's purely scripting, right? But I don't think he had much chance to be proven wrong, really. And you know, it's like Winston Churchill, right? He was a perfect war captain. He was going to shoot quantums when he had to. He ain't going to flinch. He ain't going to worry about those civilians, which happen to be Jem'Hadar clones. He ain't, you know, great or good, save his crew. He's not a problem.
He's got a good captain's gravitas about him. Is what I think. I think when he's on a mission, it shows. He's got two different sides to him for sure. I had something else to say there, but I can't remember what it was. So.
Sorry.
That's okay. I want to put him as S tier.
Yeah, like I say, he wasn't given much room to be wrong, and he's a god, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he did kill more Jem'Hadar and more people than many people on this list, so.
Oh, that was what I was going to say. He was so badass, they needed to bring him in to finish the Defiant.
Yeah. Well, as the meme goes, he's the one that punched Q in the face, you know. A future god who could punch a god.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know? And of course his journey's wonderful with loss of his wife and dealing with it and being a very good father and then husband of... Did they marry Cassidy? No. Yes?
He knocked her up at least. I don't know.
Well, there you go. Deadbeat dad. Should that get him down to an A?
See, that's the thing. He was so proud of the character for not being that until the final episode. And then he literally went to the store for milk and some smokes and never came home. After Jake sacrificed his entire life to save his dad when he was became an old man, just focused on saving his dad. And he's got a baby on the way, and then he just buggers off. I know time is irrelevant to him, but
then he could have come back in the next scene and said, "It's okay. I did 4 million years as a god. I did my job."
Yeah, needed something like that.
But that's the thing.
Because if he's not coming back, then he's not coming back.
Yeah,
at all.
Yeah. Why would he
Right.
wait for all the years? Yeah. He. It's odd. The universe picked him to be a prophet, and then he did pick it at the end. I don't know what he gained by being a prophet at the end. I don't know what the point of that was, and it does feel an odd ending to me. I've always wondered about that. He's in white saying, "I must go now." Why? It's my destiny. Why? The script. Oh. And couldn't he clone himself? Couldn't he? Couldn't he make a pact with a Q and have him take his mortal essence, put into a body? You know, I mean, it shouldn't lower him, but it's not a best ending for a character since he literally disappears into nothingness, into everythingness, but into nothingness, right?
Apparently, they did marry in a very quick service. So yes.
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll buy Trekyards. I mean, go S, but he's not my favorite captain, but he's obviously perfect wartime captain. I think if it wasn't a war, he'd be a good captain, just happy to do his job, right? If he stayed at Saratoga, he'd just been a casual first officer, wouldn't have raised the rank super far, he would have got a classic ship, and he wouldn't have, like, the war is what gave him the time to shine, and he did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He said he's coming back soon. According to the current comics, he did, but that's comics, so.
Ain't canon. Yeah. Ain't canon.
Who's next?
Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness. God, so many choices. Let's go Kirk JJ. Let's swap universes again. With the great picture of Beyond Kirk.
Yeah.
Well, he got captain at 21. No, yeah, well, 2021. So he's the youngest captain of Starfleet because he got it while he was still a cadet. Didn't have to serve a single day as an ensign or lieutenant, junior, lieutenant, senior, commander, lieutenant commander, straight to captain. So therefore he should be an S because he's the highest ranking, quickest promotion role. He lost to captain as well, then he gained it again.
That's not how starship politics works. Just because the captain says you're temporary captain doesn't mean you're going to be captain. And there's other people more qualified on the ship, but that happens many times in Star Trek. So
everybody was more qualified. They all had a rank. He had cadet. It's not a rank. So by the technicality, he's the best captain out there because he's youngest, best. Blah, blah, blah. But did he make good choices?
He's very emotional, more so than
cadet.
More so than the Kirk we know. Oh, in all the movies though, like even the third movie, he's like, "I'm so sick of my job."
He's in his 20s for all the movies. He's a pup in every goddamn movie, irrespective of what he looks as an actor. They did not skip 20 years between the first film and beyond. He was still in his 20s the entire set, logically.
Yeah.
I mean, he's brave, he's boisterous, he loves his crew, they respect him, apart from the punch him in the face.
And throw him around the bridge a bit,
Threesomes with aliens, I mean, he's got the Riz, good for him. He lost a ship, but that wasn't his fault. I don't think that was not a situation he was going to win. The energy dampening field, and they like 5,000 swarmed him. He couldn't have saved the ship. That was, you know. Did he pilot? No, he did Spock was piloting the drone ship thingy. What did he do? Oh yeah, he beamed aboard Yorktown like 4 guy in 0G. Brave and powerful.
And he rescued Jayla on a bike, and then they transported him.
Skills.
I feel like he deserves a B.
Yeah, I mean, he did too many stupid things, but that's his universe, right? That's not him, and he is good and beyond, right? All credit to him, and he did sacrifice himself to save the ship into darkness. It might have been ridiculous, but he did do that without hesitating. So bravery gets there. So yeah, let's go B. 'Cause he did a lot of big things because the plot told me he was going to.
I'm totally happy with a B. Yeah, for sure.
It's a stupid B, but it's a B.
All right. Next up is probably going to be a controversial one.
Love it. And guys, keep sharing your thoughts about your country. Yeah, it's the best.
Shaw. Now, this goes back to what you were saying about Rios, how Rios really didn't do anything to help his crew in season 2. Shaw was completely fucking useless in season 3. When he had his captain moments, they were great, and there were a few of them. He had his fangirl moment with Geordi as well, but there were so many times that he, as a captain, should have been stepping in with Vadic to make sure that there was some kind of plan happening, and he was just passively standing around. And don't get me wrong, I love Shaw. I love Todd Stashwick.
Oh.
I think they're great. And his moments that are funny are funny. His disrespect for his elders and his superior officers, Picard and Riker, the contempt he has, was it justified by Battle Level 359? For Picard, maybe. But the way he treated Riker and Picard on his ship, I think, is unacceptable. Don't get me wrong. I love Shaw and I want him to come back. But I think they really mistreated his character in that season because he was very ineffective in taking back his ship or stopping Vadic. He was just kind of a passively standing by, waiting. Commented on that during episodes when they're like lined up on the bridge, and he could have been doing something, anything. Kirk would have been,
Janeway, Sisko, all things,
everybody, yeah.
Yeah, he's such a tricky one. Let's take his career into account for a second. He's an engineer, not a command track, so he already jumped division. Given a Titan, that's impressive, obviously after Riker's legacy and Savick.
And Hypno Amber points out the way he treated Seven. Yeah. Not cool. Being ex-Borg, so.
What was I saying?
Sorry.
No,
sorry.
No, that's fine. And the Titan's meant to be a light cruiser, right? Like, this is a low-end ship, or at least a low, qualification. They're not going to go do big things, therefore he doesn't have to be quite as qualified. You can tell that battle, that 25 years ago, right? It still haunts him, so he's not an effective battle captain anyway. You would never want to go in a firefight with this man, ever. Me personally, space battle or hand-to-hand fight, he's totally ineffectual. So that's a huge branch of Starfleet just can't do as a captain. Yes, his huge disrespect. He's not. You could tell he's going to piss off everybody in every chain of command, because 2 legends that, yes, it was unexpected going on, but the polite thing would be to not be a dickhead. And of course you could find quarters for him. Of course as an ensign he'll give up their bunk for the 2 legends. You're not going to make him sleep in a bunk bed. You're never going to do that. Right, unless you're actively trying to punish them for being annoying, which is what that was. So, sorry. And you would, if you really cared about them, you'd turn the lights on as well. Because he kept the low power modes they could barely see, right? Turn those damn lights. He did choose to jump in at warp and save the team, but needed Seven to convince him. He was not going to do it. Very against it. He was already leaving, came back. He did repair the ship, but that's engineer him, not captain him. That's irrelevant to that discussion. We said at the bridge he's pointless, useless, and underwhelming. He's the first to go into leather for no reason. I like that he called the cops on them, so he takes Starfleet over them. Then he disrespects them at the start, and they are Starfleet. So he's a muddled character. He's not a captain I'd want to serve under. He's not a captain I'd give a big ship because he wouldn't do a good job with it. He's a captain that you know he could do engineering problems, lead a small team, do some missions that are mid-range, and do an okay job. Wouldn't give him more than that. And he died in a very unimpressive way too, if that's a full death. Honestly, I'd give him a C. You know, he didn't do anything of worth, of note, and he's a dickhead. Like
but the nicest kind of dickhead.
Yeah, love, like, you know, yeah, absolutely, like, you know, very
like
well
me.
played.
I think Shaw's a lot like me, which is
Well, he's a bit meaner. You don't throw the there's an edge to his meanness. You're not the edge. You're saying it in a funny way. He was being mean, low key mean. But
that's a compliment from
it
you.
isn't.
Thank you.
I think if he hadn't have been a second fiddle in his own show, he could have been easily higher. But there's not really much in the season that gives him captain rank above. And is it a positive that he lets Picard just take over the ship? And Riker, like, he literally sits there. He's recovering, absolutely. But I mean, like Jen was ex-Borg once and then went back on the bridge. I mean, captains have dealt with worse. And what did he do? Was he shot? Broke his leg? I can't remember. He was in the sick bay.
He broke his leg. How though? Did he get shot in the leg?
No, there weren't weapons. I think it was flung. Oh, he was flung or something. So he was literally, he accepted his fate and accepted someone to take command of a ship, which it would be hard for Kirk and Pike and other people to do, because he trusted the higher ranks despite pissing on them, because he's an engineer. He's not a Starfleet captain, right? He is literally. But yeah, I would say a fine C, but you know, well, I'd rather serve under Rios than him, I would say.
Yeah, I would. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy to put him at a C. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I need to read some super chats that I didn't get to already. All right. Laura and Dave and Laura throwing $2.
Thanks so much.
Sisko is badass.
That is his thing.
Sean O'Sullivan, €2. 1 Sisko, 2 Jellico, 3 Janeway, 4 Picard, 5 Kirk, and 6 Foley. Oh, I made the list.
All right. Oh yeah. Sorry, I was thinking, and a pear tree. I was like, oh, that's a ranking, right? Sorry.
And Eric Martin, $5. This will ruffle Samuel's feathers a bit.
Okay,
For
good.
an F, I nominate Captain Harriman and Ramirez of the Valiant, and perhaps Ransom, but he redeemed himself at the end.
Interesting. Boo.
You get to pick the next captain. You can pull in Harriman if you want.
No, I'll save him a little bit. Let's go Freeman. Let's jump around a little bit. Freeman, husband admiral, so she had in theory potential nepotism to get higher ranking. But I mean, you know, my wife should be captain of this Nebula class way. She was given a bog standard California class. She makes many bad, stupid decisions.
Yes.
But also many good decisions. And they've been growing in frequency as she's learning. I think the confrontation with her daughter took a lot of her focus, as I can imagine that being. And, you know, good for her for being the last captain of Starfleet to take her and really try to keep her in Starfleet, because she believes so much in Starfleet. She knows how good her daughter is, fighting for every step of the way. They're having a good relationship with her in season 2, I believe. She's a mixed bag. She's not the smartest captain, but that, I think, just she's missing some street smarts, some self-awareness of good or bad choices, or enthusiasm beats common sense. There's a bit of that going on. She has raw smarts and she has people smarts, but she also can be dumb often. I think I'd be happy to serve under her, but I know we'd have some shit sometimes.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
All right. Yeah, Freeman's been growing as a character, thank God. But then every now and then she'll take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. So I think her posting on a California class is perfectly, good right now, which already makes her like at least a B tier captain for California class. She can't You can't be an A or S tier captain to get a California class. Come on.
This is true. This is true.
My initial thought while you were talking there was, I think a C is more than fair for her. She has been growing. She has been making more correct decisions. She's been dealing with things better, not only situations but her crew. But like I said, every now and then she lets her emotions take over. She also gets easily frustrated, and as a result, sometimes makes really stupid decisions. So, yeah, I think C is kind of like the top ceiling for where I could place her. I don't think she deserves a D though.
Oh no! She should think genocide or get herself killed or do no. Hypno says, okay, I do have to say she does inspire her crew. 100% agree. They do like her a lot. And actually does a great job in an emergency, although not an A tier. That's a bold thing. I think C with a trajectory into B.
Yeah,
I can see her getting, if they get more seasons, getting promoted to a better ship.
Yeah.
And, give her an Excelsior 2, right? Give her something slightly more prestigious. Allow her to do... Because a lot of the time she's given busy work. Really important busy work in that lots of ships can do it. She happens to be the one picked for it, right? But there was one where she was meant to do some very high-end negotiations. Got swapped to someone else, but she was being picked for it. So that's a hell of an endorsement. And then lost the assignment, whatever. So I think if she gets promoted to a more... refined ship that will specifically do this sort of mission, that sort of mission, that works for me. But yeah, I think C's fair. But I think she could be a B. I think she has potential.
Absolutely.
Cool.
All right, my turn. Let's bring in the sexiest captain ever.
Okay, go for it.
Captain Foley puts up with Commander Calkins on a weekly, if not almost daily basis, and has not yet promoted him. Therefore, Captain Foley knows what's up, and he's a very down to earth fellow. This guy, he hangs out with his crew a lot, especially late night. He's got a good sense of humor, although most of them are dad jokes, but it's okay. And rocking that sexy hairstyle, got an Orion slave girl behind him there. He's a man's man. And yeah, I'll hold my judgment on where he should be ranked until we get there. But his career is legendary. So
yeah, I mean, he got a dreadnought in his 40s. It's not bad. But he did die unknown circumstances at some point, and not to be found again. Unless time travel happens, I don't know. I wrote some things with Tholians. Yeah, that's a good thing. This is very meta, isn't it? Yeah, he helped negotiate treaty with Tholian. That happened.
It's a very legendary captain. He's had some good encounters. I'm telling you.
And I mean, to have a ship named after him, and
that he helped design,
and serve on it, is quite arrogant and bold. I have to say every new alien, this is Captain Foley, the USS Foley, and they're like, huh? And normally say no relation, but he's saying, no, it's me. Named after me. Not my dad. Me.
And I designed it. I helped design it. Somewhere out there with Sisko as far as ships go.
Yeah, can you imagine if Sisko walked on the Defiance and said, right, we're renaming it the Sisko. What? Yeah, it's Captain Sisko of the Sisko. Fire the Sisko torpedoes. Be the Quantums. Yes. I renamed them the Sisko torpedoes. I mean, if this isn't a super chattable rank, I don't know what is.
I need some votes for super chat. I want to see where people want to place me.
I'm gonna for one second, be a vote with the super chat where you think it should be, because maybe we're too biased. Maybe we're too biased. 1 sec.
Dave and Laura, $2. Captain Johnny Bravo. Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Don. Thanks to everyone that said S tier. You all are awesome. We put this one in just as a joke. There's many more captains to come, don't worry. And I wasn't sure when this was going to get dragged in. I feel like I needed to do it now, so it's fine. But Captain Foley still is just commanding one small fleet yard in orbit of the new Ontario colony deep in the Beta Quadrant. Do a poll. That's a good idea. We'll end this poll. So, favorite captain of these ones. Picard wins with 37%. Second place is Sisko, edging out Kirk by 1%. Sisko has 26%, Kirk has 25%, and Janeway at 11%. Okay, let me do a new poll for this one. What tier will he be?
Eric. Ha! Sexy tier, obviously. That's funny. How quaint. I mean, I don't know much about his career, to be honest, because, you know, it's a story that's, you know, not got too much into it yet. I don't know. I mean, I feel like you might know him better. Might be a descendant. I mean, given the facial similarities, might be a descendant or whatever.
I heard he can be a bit of an asshole sometimes. He's very opinionated sometimes, and other times very forgiving, very kind-hearted. You know, he's one of those. So.
Yeah, but there are many asshole captains. It's part of their charm.
I know. I rank myself up there with Lorca and Shaw. You know, I'm kind of in that category.
But did he help save the galaxy, or become a god, or redefine the Federation rulebook? You know, I don't know if he did.
He's done each of those things in equal measure.
Right. One after the other. Every birthday, he just kept rising. I mean, I'll go A to be nice, because I feel like S might have to be reserved for the gods of Trek.
Well, you know, we wouldn't be having this conversation if he didn't exist. So.
I mean, I mean, there we go. Between S and an A, guys, your super chat's going to determine where we place this hunky captain.
Well, the poll is speaking volumes with 18 votes. We got 58% for S tier. There's a poll. Go vote on the poll.
Oh.
I want to get this locked in.
This is the way, eh?
This is the way.
I mean, the crew definitely like him, right? It's very personable.
It can be. Again, sometimes I just want to be left alone.
I
mean, he.
That's what crew quarters are for, you know.
Yep.
Well, I wonder how big would your quarters be on whatever ship? Because I feel like if you were, yeah.
Funny you say that, because Trekyards actually working on my quarters on the Foley class now.
Oh, right.
Yeah. He put in a stripper pole, by the way.
For you?
No, for an Orion. He has an Orion on it. But
I think you mean for you, don't you? I think you mean...
Yeah, it's good exercise apparently.
Yeah, I mean those it's amazing how many people, and by people I mean women, like do pole dancing as a thing. At my university, it was like a thing that you could go do. And it's you know, if you do it properly, you invest the time doing it properly, it's really a workout. And it's like, but is that not sexualized? It's like, yes, but at the same time, it's really good exercise. And when you're crazy good at it, it's like, wow, the strength of your thighs is ridiculous. You know, just utterly ludicrous.
Taken out of context, that's just great.
Yeah, it's true. You know, muscles that I wouldn't hope. You know, I have no upper body strength and I have lower body strength, but I can jump and run. Neither of those things require the things I just said. So,
let's slap him right where I put him there. Just
right. Messy. He's a messy captain. He's
we'll put him over here. So there.
Cannon.
All right. We'll adjust him at the end of the poll results.
Yep. All right.
So it's your turn now.
Okay. Wow. How do I follow that? I think the only way we can follow it is Riker. You know, so
that's
equally as silly. Captain Riker. Love the little collage here. Yep. Although Admiral Riker, of course, is one of them. I mean, an oddity, because he's a captain for like 2 minutes in Nemesis. That's Captain Riker. He's a captain lower decks as a city man, although he is good in his second appearance. Jazz musicians, etc. He's stern as a retired captain in Picard. And then when he's good, he's very good in Picard season 3 after the other stuff. Gosh, I mean, we don't know about his record really, but Luna, good ship, not top tier, not low tier, darn good tier. Retires early, and we know that he doesn't do that much captaining in the grand scheme of a career length. He spends a lot of time as commander. not out of scaredness, just he's not ready for that center seat for a long time. Despite being offered it in season 1, which you always forget. He was ready for captain right at the start. But then he gives up Starfleet, not that long into the career to look after his son. And then son dies, unfortunately, and they just hangs out on a planet for more years. And then comes up and does galactic things and leaves to follow a fleet of ships.
When his friend and captain is dying.
Yeah, even though you have literally 27 of the same, 100, 400, 1,000 the same ship, you could stay back and make sure that no cloaked ship doesn't attack the planet. Because his one disruptor blast would kill everyone on that planet. You dumbass! And, also with the Shrike, he doesn't do the best maneuvers. It takes some convincing to do a silly thing. So yeah, I don't know. It's weird because we've only seen him at the extremes, right?
Yep. And he's got
thoughts. I need some thoughts here. I don't know.
He has a habit of naming his shows after jazz musicians. I've heard that. It's first you're hearing about this?
I think so. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's the Coltrane and stuff. Yeah.
Huh.
Right.
That makes sense.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. He definitely wanted to temper his career to the point where he would be the best captain by turning down so many. And I don't think it was fear of doing it. I think it was just he suffers what a lot of people suffer, including myself, like imposter syndrome. Should you be there? Should you be doing what you're doing? He wanted to serve under Picard as long as he could to get that guidance, I guess. So I think he would probably be a fantastic captain. Again, very personable, very friendly, but also super strict if he needs to be. We've seen that many times, even in TNG when he was just a commander. You have to deal with everybody on the ship, at least the department heads. And you're kind of the face for the captain. So I think he would make a fantastic captain as a result. We have seen him do quite a few things, although some of them are questionable, as you said, taking off after the Romulan fleet and other such things. Oh my goodness. I really like Riker, and that's the problem. I think A tier is perfectly acceptable for Riker, though.
It's tricky though, compared to Garrett, he never did the thing.
Well, maybe in the novels.
Well, that's the thing. Would he go back in time, sacrifice himself to save the galaxy? Yes. Did he? No. I feel like conceptually he's an A, but in what we've seen him, he'd be a B. And that's the quandary, right? We've seen basically nothing. He should be an A.
More than a lot of these captains, though.
Yes, but being a commander is not being a captain. You're not.
We've seen him as a captain more than we've seen a lot of these captains.
But not as many, I guess, not many missions or situations, etc. I mean, yeah, obviously the stars and such. But I don't want to be biased because I like Riker and Jonathan Frakes, etc.
Mm-hmm. So you're thinking B?
I mean, very high B, low A. Again, I want the audience reaction because I feel like Sulu's probably a stronger captain. I didn't say better, so stronger.
So you want him with Freeman? I agree. Him with Styles and Maxwell and Shaw. They kind of all have. Shaw has the same kind of personality almost, but just a way meaner edge to it. He can make jokes and stuff, unlike Picard, right? Oh man, I really think he deserves an A.
Give him an A then, just a low A, because his potential outweighs his. Because not even staying 10 minutes to watch his friend die. He didn't know he was dying. But he could have stayed 10 minutes, right? That's a pretty big. That's not literally as bad as Rio's breaking time conceptually, but like emotionally, it ain't good. What do people think?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm interested because I don't want to be biased just because I like the guy. But I guess he successfully managed to, recruit Wesley from the, managed to successfully get him out of the working with whoever they're called to then be on the Titan. That takes a lot of balls to recruit a god.
Mm. If you take Beta Canon, yeah.
Yep. Well, and the scene, the scene from The movie.
Nemesis.
Yeah. Happy with that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm interested to hear what other people think as well, though. Yeah. So it's my pick, you said. Because everybody's been bitching and complaining. I will pull in Jellico.
Ooh.
I think Jellico's a fantastic captain. This is a little bit of a gruff asshole, but sometimes that's what it takes to be a captain, especially when you're jumping in on a new ship.
The flagship.
Yeah, I think Riker was a little bit of a pouty little bitch, honestly, with the way he dealt with them. But I think Jellico, given more time and getting to know him better, would be, I think, a really great captain. I would trust everything that he's doing. He seems very determined, very headstrong. I don't know if Brett's here, but we got some overlap of tiles here on the board, just so you know, Brett.
I got it.
I don't know if you can fit that. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think Jellico, for me, from what we've seen, was at least an A. I think he could have dealt with things a little bit better on the Enterprise, but at the same time, he had a job to do, and it was time sensitive, and he needed to just get things done. I think messing with the entire ship's routine was a little bit of a problem, but he needed something he was used to and something that he could count on in that situation, and he's used to a 4-shift rotation, not 3. So I think going into the situation he was going into, he just kind of needed his own sense of reliability in that regard. But at the same time, that also jeopardizes everything because the crew's not used to that. So it was kind of a dumb decision, but at the same time, it was right for his command style. Eventually, they would have got used to it. I just don't think they would have got used to it in time for what they were doing. So those are kind of my thoughts. I don't think he was a bad captain at all. He comes across as an asshole, but I think the older you get, the more you get to appreciate exactly how he was. When I was younger, I hated him. Now I think, yep, this is somebody I would definitely listen to. So, but those are my thoughts.
He's also a great rewatch captain. First time, you take the absolute intent of the material to be pissed at him. Second time, that last scene makes all the difference. Being proud to be on the Enterprise, softening up for those few seconds. That's a very important moment. An amazing performance by, I think Ronnie Cox is his name. Yeah, he's tricky because he is the epitome of the hard ass, which when that is a lot of military. You think of the training in military personnel. The instructors are bastards because their job is to break you to build you up. By the end of it, you can do the horrible thing you have to do in war and be okay with it in the abstract of being okay. It's a very important position to be in. And clearly, Starfleet handpicked this man to take on this assignment because they knew he could do it. And you saw his crack skills in negotiating with Cardassians. Like Maxwell on steroids, right? Like he can just do it. He knew how to deal with them personally, professionally, where Picard couldn't. He was too straight-laced, right? That hard ass is needed. The force rotation, who's to say that's not standard on most other ships? Or at the academy they teach it, but maybe Picard chose, all we have is the bias of what we know anyway. And isn't Cerritos Delta shift, that means 4 shifts?
Yeah.
So there could be the outlier. He could be annoyed that 60% of the fleet are on this. Why the hell's Enterprise this? I want to sleep those many hours. That, right? I'm not going to judge him for that. And he is just trying to improve the ship in his own image. And, let's be honest, you're walking onto a ship where people like Picard. And you're the second captain of this ship. You're temporary. It's like a substitute teacher coming in. You're always going to be judged against the one that's there. And if they've got half the time and twice the difficulty, he wasn't willing to put in the legwork of going in slowly when that might have led to problems in galactic consequences. So he's justified if his bedside manner sucks. But then Pulaski's bedside manner sucks and she's still a great doctor, right? I would be fine with a strong B. Because I don't think he was good in every situation as a captain versus like Sulu and Garrett. I think they're more generally good captains. I think he's good at certain things. That's why they kind of move him around a bit. But just like JJ Kirk and whatever the lady's name is, sorry, I think strong B. That's what I'll say.
Yep, I was thinking of B as well. So
excellent. Yeah, but I mean, respect to the guy, for what he did and what he had to do, and as a, difficult mission, etc. Cool. Okay.
Absolutely.
Sweet. Guys, let us know your thoughts, comments, questions. All right. Let me throw in Terrell. Poor Terrell. I like this actor. I like this guy. He's so affable in the scenes. In Wrath of Khan, he's there. Miranda's a well-respected ship. They're good at that point. Pretty prestigious. No problem. He's nice. He's friendly. He's professional. He listens to his crew. He's taken over by a space worm. He's a sub whatever. And then talk about Enterprise C level bravery. Kills himself to protect the galaxy. I mean, that ultimate sacrifice level moment.
I think he just killed himself because of the pain he was in from the SETI eel, though. Because he was resisting it, and it was like moving around and coming out. So.
Oh, I know what you mean, but I think it was, I could easily be told to kill Kirk, and I would, because I can't fight it. But in this moment, I can, and I'll end this because I might cause more harm. I take it as a bravery way.
Yeah.
He had a moment of I could do something about it. I thought he was a strong captain. I'm sad he died. I think he did all right decisions until all wrong decisions, but they weren't his decisions. So I have a good vibe off the guy. That's my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he was more of a scientist captain, though. Definitely being on the Reliant doing that job. I don't think he was ready for the decisions that had to come from what was happening, which, I mean, you never expect that kind of thing, Superman from the past, it's one of those things, right? And to get SETI eel implanted in your head. I don't know. I don't know if I know enough about Terrell to really say anything else. The killing himself could have been due to bravery. It could have also just been like I think you're right. I think it was just to resist, and he had a moment where he could, with the eel kind of dislodging. But oh man, I don't know.
I mean, he's not a D because he didn't do any stupid, horrible things. He's not a B because he didn't do enough. I mean, happy for a gentle C.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, classically good captain. I'm glad at least we have a good headshot of him because, he's not in it very much. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to put him at a C. I mean,
yeah. Your pick.
It is my pick, and here we go. Here comes a discussion. Just agree with me and let's move on. Lorca.
Now, prime or evil Lorca?
Prime Lorca. Just assume that his command style was like that because nobody else noticed that there was much of a difference in him. Okay. I love Lorca. I think he's a fantastic wartime captain. He's got that. He wants everything done perfectly when he needs it. That's why he was focusing on the drills. We got to get this to whatever percent, because he knows that at a moment's notice in a wartime situation, he's going to have to rely on his crew and his ship to perform at their best. And he's actually quite nice, quite a nice gentleman to talk to at times. He's not always an asshole. Let's completely forget the fact he's Mirror Universe. He's somebody I'd want to serve under. Because I know when I was on the bridge, I'd have to do my goddamn job. And I know that if I'm not on the bridge, if shit goes down, it's going to be taken care of. He just has that kind of commanding presence. Everybody's shitting on Lorca. Let's forget he's Mirror Universe for a minute, guys. Yeah, I don't know. I just really liked the vibe that Lorca gave off. He's somebody that I would want to serve under, I think. There you go.
Whatever you say, Stuart. I'm not going to win this, whatever I say, so whatever you want.
You don't think he's a good Prime Universe captain, even
we
as a
didn't
wartime
see
captain?
one frame of him as Prime.
I know.
So I can't even argue for Prime Lorca, can I?
But even Cornwall didn't realize there was much of a difference since he would have been back. So he's got to be similar at least.
I get it, but you know what I mean? I can't even judge Prime Lorca. There's no Prime Lorca. I think I would probably quite like Prime Lorca because he wouldn't be wartime battered. He'd just be Guy. You know. I mean, he's like Sisko, but with more murder. I mean, that's, you know what I mean? Like, that's fundamentally what it is. He's like, whatever you want, Stuart. I'm not going to win this, so whatever you want to put him, that's fine.
I'll put him at D because we only saw the Mirror Universe version.
Whichever you want, Stuart.
There you go.
No, you can put him higher. That's okay, Stuart. You like him.
I was going to put him as a C, but he's going to be a D.
No, you could put him as a C, Stuart. I'm fine with that.
Nope.
Are you sure?
It's Mirror Universe. We never saw the Prime one.
Are you sure? I'm letting you do whatever you want here. I'm
sure.
Okay. But I do think there'd be definitely. I think the more that the we got Stranger Worlds as a power of the fans, right? At some point, you would imagine that they might say, "Hey, let's bring back Jason Isaacs and play that card." The good guy prime him. Now we've got Stranger Worlds and do like a flashback with him and anybody, right? I can see that card being a really nice. Now it's been enough years, on its head. I'm sure he'd do it. Play someone quite different. Just don't let him age too much. It's been many years now. So
yeah. All right. Your call.
Where's the thing on? Let's go Spock. I know. Captain in rank. Never captained a ship, as far as you know. He, captain of an academy test group. Right? So do we take his leadership as a second in command into account? Perhaps. But he never wanted to command. He never wanted to explore. He never wanted to go out and do. He wanted to lead and help. So how do you judge such a person? Don't know. Baton to you, Stuart. What do you say?
He would have been. He's perfect for a training cruise or a training crew.
Yep.
Because everything's got to be by the book. That's how the book's written. That's how it's going to be. Yeah. There's no room for emotional choices necessarily. So I think he's great for a trainer. As for an actual captain, we never really got a sense of how he would be. Honestly, we saw him a few times in TOS, and he was always making a logical decision, much to McCoy's chagrin.
Do we have Captain Scott here? Because if we're going,
no, we don't.
Because he was in the same level of captain.
Yeah.
Damn, we found one.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sure. I knew we would find many. Yeah. Spock, I would give a B tier too, just because we never really got a sense of how he would be as a captain. We saw him as acting captain a few times, like I said in TOS, but I don't know how he would deal with his crew.
I think the fact that he knew that he wasn't meant for exploration and doing those things gets him a B. Just because talented officer, he took him straight out of the Starfleetness at some point, went ambassador. You can't give him a B. It seems horrible. I think B is fair. I think we saw literally nothing of him captaining, but at the same time, strong at what he does.
He didn't even take the Kobayashi Maru. Come on.
We invented it, apparently.
Oh, good God.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put him at B.
Yeah.
All right, let's mix things up again.
There's a lot of mixing.
Let's talk about this asshole. I don't know who the fuck he is. Let's get him off the board.
I was shocked to see this in the rank here. Like, who is this man?
I have no idea.
He's the guy. I remember now. He's the guy that died in that ship that Lorca tried to rescue, and then there's a torpedo that flung, and there's really bad lighting on the space effects. Like, awful. And it exploded and he died, and it was sad.
Yeah, see, that was like, where's Anderson? Because I liked Anderson, but he was an admiral.
Yep.
So,
I mean, he didn't genocide people. So, I guess...
give him an F for dying.
Okay. Yep.
And me not knowing who the hell he is, so...
Okay.
Let's get him off the board. Done. All right, next.
Okay, then. Shit. Okay, well, let's go for this quick. Let's go Beverly. And there's not people...
As in Crusher?
Yes?
Or Picard?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know what? All props to her. I like her as a captain. Not the career path you expect from doctor to captain. But you know what? Really strong candidate to lead a doctorship, medical ship, is a doctor captain, because you wouldn't necessarily want oh, it's fine, I'll save the crew at the expense of the medical people on the planet. You kind of want someone to go medical overall. But she has a lot of common sense. She would also retreat if need be, etc. I think she's a well-balanced officer. Polite, genteel, strong when she needs to be. Good vibes. Thoughts?
Good medical ship officer for sure. Very caring. Would definitely do the right thing to save people, including going into dangerous situations. I hate her pajamas that she's wearing here. That uniform is god-awful.
F! The uniform.
Yeah. As far as a captain, though, I can't see her being above a B.
I was going to say happy to be C.
Yeah, okay, me too.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
yeah. Because that's the thing. She's at her thing perfect.
Yes.
But not the broadity of the track. Yeah, so I think that's absolutely fair.
C is fair indeed. All right. Who's next? Let me see. We'll pull in. Let's get rid of some of these people. God damn it. Rix. Well, the lady's not here. There was a lady captain in this meeting.
Yes.
That was the youngest captain in Starfleet history.
Did I put that picture up? Thought I did.
It's not here that I can see.
Oh dear. I was going to go higher ranking. This guy, great makeup.
Yeah.
Meant to be a Bolian, I suppose. The lighting makes it hard to work out his skin tone per se.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a Bolian.
I mean, variations of Bolian. I mean, hey, good scene, good captain, died.
What ranking she like?
I mean, by that logic, D, because he failed to help the conspiracy. Yeah.
D. Get the hell out of here, buddy. D.
In the Planet Hell set, that's the Planet Hell set.
All right.
Bateson.
Bateson. Oh,
Bateson.
nice.
I have a soft spot for this guy. The episode's incredible. That's why. I really wish they brought him back in a TNG or in a Voyager or DS9. Well, I guess not Voyager, but DS9 would have been the most Uno reverse ever. To suddenly have a DS9, the Defiant's in danger. Oh no! And ship pops in on the view screen. Bateson, you're like, oh shit, that guy, and he's epic. That would have been the most really cool callback. And we did get that just 3 decades later in Lower Decks. I've always hoped for this guy, given him all the I hope he does well. But thank you, Lower Decks, for reiterating that he was able to overcome a pretty significant challenge in his life. Everything he knows, everywhere he lived, his entire world being changed, and then maintaining captain rank and doing well and being high end still. I mean, that's a lot, and I give all credit to the guy for doing that.
Same. Overcame extraordinary odds. Looks great in a Monster Maroon. If you take the book Ships of the Line into consideration, did some fantastic things, but you can't do that.
It's a great book.
But yeah, I would have loved to see him come back, and I think he would be a fantastic captain if you got to see more Kelsey Grammer as a captain. I think he would have been a good captain, but based on what we have knowledge-wise, what year is it? Oh, obviously, it's this year. No, look at my goddamn uniform, buddy. It's just a little oblivious. So, I don't know.
I mean, a C. A C is a good safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See until further adventures. How's that?
And then, I mean, he just restarted in Frasier. They could totally bring him back and do something. I think that would be a really fun payoff in live action. I mean, or even Prodigy. I mean, yes, that's a good era to throw him in on. I'd love to see him, command the Nebula. Kind of the spiritual successor to the Miranda visually. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go with the captain of the Saratoga from Star Trek 4. I think she did a pretty good job, considering she's very calm under pressure by the looks of things, and good job becoming a captain. I don't know. I don't have much else to say.
Yeah, I think she had a shitty situation, and it amazes me how well she handled it relative to the problem at hand. Miranda, again, fair shout at the time. I liked her vibe. She seemed commanding. She seemed respectful. She seemed measured. And again, not her fault. You can't blame her for the situation. None of the ships could deal with this thing. And that's the thing. When you have little information but respect for them, go for a C, because she's perfectly good at the job. Happy to give her you believe she's a captain, and that's kind of the most important thing. It's like, yeah, captain. I'd serve under in the abstract of she seemed good at her job. Her job was just impossible. Not her fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw her at C tier.
Throw her at C tier.
We're running out of C tier room though.
Yes, we are, and that's okay. Pike JJ.
Punch it.
I don't even know what I have to say about him because I haven't thought about him for years. Great actor, interesting, whatever. He really only given the one movie. He enabled a ship to travel weeks at warp in hours. Good for him.
And he comes out of warp in a battle. Well, the remnants of a battle.
Yeah, he doesn't ask his ship and crew to scan the area to know he's going to debris. You can do that. It's not that hard. He lets him. He does. Well, does he do the exact same thing as Rabaul? He just takes the shuttle over.
Yes, but I think under the circumstances, that was the only option.
Well, they told him to. I'm going to say D out of principle.
It's Kelvin's stupidity, unfortunately. But I like the character. I like the actor. I kind of like his the parking brake on, Mr. Sulu. But yeah, I'm happy to put him at a D. We just.
Especially when you have a good Pike to look at. Well, two good Pikes to look at. And then it's like...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no shame, just... You're not in a good version of Trek to show your strengths in the same way.
Yeah, that's the problem. So... Okay, let's see. Who's next?
For the chopping block.
Okay. No, come here. Oh my god, I hate this goddamn program so much. There we go. We will bring in Captain Harriman, because
we're going here. Okay.
this program sucks.
You get to go first.
It's not cool. Tuesday yet, otherwise the program would be better.
You get to go first. That makes sense in this. I like it.
I think he was just put in a shitty situation. Obviously good enough to take over the namesake of the Enterprise. Had legends on board watching him, and dealt with the situation the best he could, considering that the management essentially sent him out ill-equipped. So I think he did what he could, and again, need to see more of what he did to really make an assessment. But I can understand why people would want to put him as a low tier, but I think being captain of the flagship, and that's a big deal. So that's all I have to say about Harriman.
Question then, in the exact same situation that he was given with a, let's say, 27-year-old or 31-year-old Kirk, right? Would Kirk have done a better job? with a lack of tools and people.
I think so.
But how much a better job, though? Like, what can he do, right?
Exactly. I don't know.
You know, because remember the scene, of course. He's literally there doing a press tour. His first pre-launch launch to take out around the solar system. You don't need jack shit in the solar system since you're going back that afternoon, right? And then he's called upon. Remember, he doesn't have to go and help the Locule. Knowing his ship is incomplete without the full staff, without a full crew, he chooses to bravely go and be a good Starfleet officer and go and try and save people, despite knowing he's not got a proper ship for it. That's called Starfleet bravery right there, because most things you can deal with, right? He goes, he does, you know, take the center seat, whatever, with Kirk right there, whatever, gets the situation, and he sort of works with Kirk a little bit to try and help, and as things get worse, he does suggest 3 or 4 things, actively good ideas, none of which the ship can do. That's not on him. 3, and this is not the science officer. This ain't Spock offering ideas. He has 3 ideas. Normally in TOS, how many ideas does Kirk come up with in TOS? None. His crew does. He is right on the ball. His ship just can't do anything. So this is not him personally. It's a situation. It's a really bad situation. It takes Kirk, the most legend of legend, to sacrifice himself, which he was going to do himself. He was going to go down and do the thing himself. So full bravery, full talent, shitty situation. So I don't think you can take it, you know, that situation, whatnot. And he's charming. He's nice. He's friendly. You would want to serve under him as a nice, gentle guy, I think. He's phenomenal of Gods and Men. Not canon, but Alan got a second go at the whatever. He's excellent in that.
The problem is, I think me and a lot of people in the chat see him as Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off more than John, the Captain Harriman.
Yep.
So, and Cameron's kind of an idiot. So,
but he made Enterprise captain. He's literally
exactly.
You know, I mean, for knowing what I know about him in the grander scheme, and I love meeting the guy. He's really, really nice. I would give him the lowest B possible because he got an Enterprise. I mean, he earned Enterprise. Kirk did not earn Enterprise, a la JJ, right? That should be a thing in his regard. But he didn't cause genocide. He didn't cause, you know, he wasn't a dickhead like Styles. He didn't time travel mistake like Rios. He didn't kill Cardassians like whatever. You know, by the
killed Kirk.
No,
according to a lot of people.
He don't know.
According to a lot of people, everybody, he killed Kirk until later when it's discovered.
But do you know what I mean? You compare what he did and his standing to the seas. He beats them. Maybe not necessarily Excelsior because that's a high-ranking ship. Fine. I mean, I'll accept...
You know, he never would have lived that down, right?
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know. I've written it into many scripts. I mean, I'll go high C. I'm not taking D. That's bullshit. I'd give him a lowest D or high C.
I'll give him a B because of the Enterprise.
Okay.
And because we're running out of room on C.
Okay. Cool. It's a weird scene to contextualize.
Yeah. All right. So it's your call. You're next.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, you keep worrying, Harold. Let's go with... You know what? Let's go straight to the second... Well, there's 3 Pikes. Let's go Pike Stranger Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Let's reverse the script a bit. He's played with that chill fun of a modern captain in a ship that has so little regard for structure that it works.
Yeah.
But he's friendly, he's actiony, he's strong, he has good ideas, he uses his crew, he delegates, he looks after his girlfriend, and even knows when he has mistakes. He's given maybe the flagship, maybe not. Good at cooking. He has giant fucking quarters. I mean, he does little wrong, honestly. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes in the abstract. He just gets the better of him, but that's situational, right? I mean, strong choice. They did him good.
I think he does make some stupid decisions occasionally, and he seems a little indecisive at times.
That's
one of the issues I have with him. He's super friendly, super nice, super great guy. I would love to serve under this guy. But I don't, and I'm going to get lambasted for this. I don't think he deserves S tier. I'd say A tier.
Yeah.
We only have 2 seasons with him, and the way we left him with that indecisiveness on his face with what's going on, because his girlfriend got abducted, and there's a battle going on. I don't know, man. I'm willing to give him an A tier and just be done with it for now.
Yeah. Something about it doesn't quite click, but you can't just have because he's the hero of the tale. He gets S, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with an A.
Yeah.
He's a good shout.
All right. I figured people would be pissed about that, and I'm sure they will be, but that's okay.
And I think we'll end the poll at 45 votes. What tier should Foley be? S tier, 44%, with C tier coming in second at 22%, B tier at 18%, and A tier at 16%. So I suppose if you do average out the C and the S, that's an A+. Those guys for voting. I'm submitting a poll.
Right.
And guys, submit your thoughts. Still, we have more to go in this very detailed journey. I bet there's not been another as detailed version of this list on the YouTubes. So help us out with Super Chat if you can.
Yeah.
Your
All right.
pick.
My next pick is we're going to pull in an S tier right away just to get some people in S tier. And that is Picard. Jean-Luc Picard. I think he's the consummate poster Starfleet captain. He is diplomatic to a fault. He's actiony when it's a movie. I mean, hey. But he delegates responsibilities properly as a captain. He stays on the ship. He lets other people go on away missions. He assigns the away missions. He makes all the hard decisions. He does really think about things. He doesn't dive into situations needlessly, and he's the epitome of what a Starfleet captain should be. Not a wartime captain. I don't know how he would fare in those situations. We see a little bit of an Enterprise C on yesterday's Enterprise, and I'm sure that would have changed his demeanor somewhat. But I think for the idealized Starfleet, he is the man. He is exactly what Starfleet is about, encapsulated in one person. And he does the best he can with the decisions that he has to make, I think. And I very rarely, if ever, disagree with him. So he's also one of those very standoffish captains, like I said, that when you saw him walking through the halls, you'd be like, oh my God, that's the captain. We never fucking see the captain. He said hi to me. Holy shit. He never talks to anybody. It's one of those, right?
He called me Jeff. My name is Bob. But that's okay. If he says it's Jeff, I'll accept it.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's a good captain. I don't know if he's a good all-around captain, but I think he is definitely a great Starfleet captain.
Yeah, he's the poster child, right? That's sort of the point. And it's not as if he was built that way with the original first season. He was meant to be extra gruff. He was unapproachable, and it became more approachable. Like, he wasn't perfect in season 1. The character and the story grew into that level of he's a great captain, he's a great person, right? Despite emotional shortcomings. I don't want to say, just because not all, especially with a crew of 1,000 people, it's unrealistic to think he's going to know everybody. It's not rude, it's not mean, it's just a giant thing to do, and that's okay, right? That is absolutely fine. He doesn't know everybody. Could you remember?
Big ship.
Could you remember 1,000 names, let alone care?
It's not like it's a ship of 200.
Yeah, like Janeway should know everybody, absolutely, right? So I'm not going to remove any points from him for that. But yeah, poster child. He very much is the Starfleet that you want to be. You're safe with him. I mean, boy, the amount of times that bridge crew had 10 seconds to death, and they're calmly doing their job, and he's leading that, and that shows his bridge crew is so is so confident in his decision making. They will literally serve him until the death moment because something might happen. He absolutely is the captain, unlike Shaw. If he's on the bridge with you, he'll be thinking, he'll be plotting, he'll be working out a way. He'll have a nod or a tap of the hat to officer next to him to do the force field that trick against the aliens. Like, that's a thing. He knows his crew. Wartime. I mean, he's a good wartime captain that he won't shoot first, but he'll absolutely, once the aggression started, fire all the phasers, shoot all the torpedoes, right? Once the stone's been thrown. I don't think he'll hesitate with that, especially like in Nemesis, right? He's old, fine, but he's against a ridiculously OP ship. Anybody would suffer. You know? That's okay. Scimitar's a crazy ship. Obviously, yes, right? You know, he is the legend. Although it's quite ballsy amazing that he gets Enterprise after destroying a random alien ship in Stargazer. That's the thing that threw him his name into the stars. And then getting the next Enterprise after Garrett. You imagine following Garrett. It's been 40 years. She sacrificed herself to cause this giant epiphany of the Klingons. You're the one to follow? Wow. That's a captain to follow.
Yeah.
And he did a good job. He earned his money that day.
And he keeps his personal problems to himself for the most part. Like, none of his crew noticed them except for the people that are very close to him, especially after the Borg incident, right? So, and then, of course, in the movies, he became Action Man.
But love what he said about delegating. That's such a skill. Such a skill. Because you know that Enterprise is doing so many good jobs because he's working his crew properly. It might be through Riker, because that's the job of a delegator, but he's doing well, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good for him. Good for him.
There's no really debating that one. So.
No, indeed. Goodness. Now we're getting some very odd ones. Okay, let's burn through one. Let's Vandermeer. Guy in photo.
Ah, yes.
Those that don't know him, he's a guy in photo who was Rios' captain, who took aboard the Brent Spiner synth people, and then got shot, and then that's it. We don't even know. Oh no, we do. Imran Majid was a weird closet guy. He is a guy, and not the fun guy from Galaxy Quest. He is just a guy. Well, thoughts, Stuart?
He earned the respect of Rios, at least, to the point where Rios left Starfleet as a result of his death. We don't know enough.
Anything?
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, just F for lack of knowledge. I mean, what?
Okay, that's fair.
I mean,
you go down here with.
I mean, he also. They both died in one maneuver from one thing. I mean, sorry. He's got a picture. Sorry.
All right. Next up. Somebody that makes me smile. Captain Foley.
My goodness. Now, you want her as high on the list as possible so she can be as far on top of you. Because if you're an A tier, she has to be on top of you. So she has to be an S tier, right? Just to sit right on top of you with you.
She'd make me lick her boots otherwise, so...
Thoughts?
She's a Mirror Universe captain, and she's very commanding in the chair. At least Tilly did a good job. We do see the actual Killy as well, but not much to say, honestly. Yeah. Better than Tilly as captain. Yeah. That's the thing to say.
But you know what's really fascinating? She was exclusively Mirror. She was never meant to be Starfleet. So as a Mirror captain, she's legendary.
It's true.
Like, she was so freaking good that she had... Discovery? Wasn't that her ship?
Yeah.
Because Burnham was Shinjo, so she had Discovery. It wasn't a spore drive ship, obviously, but it was still, I guess, a high rat. I don't know what the fuck it would do with the angle spore drive. What the fuck could a crossfield do? Who cares? I mean, if you're going by captain level, she should be a strong B, because she was so good at her job that she was called Killy, because she massacred people and everyone liked her in a killer way. She banged her way through Starfleet and killed them after. Like, because unlike Lorca, who is a different quantifier, she's actually in a universe. It's like, you know, I assume then, I don't know why she's here and not like Captain Archer from the NX universe, right? By, you know.
Good point. Yeah, good point.
If you're going by pure captain ability, she's a B, right?
I didn't add her to the list. Just saying, I actually didn't.
I mean, put her as a B, so she'll be right under you.
Perfect. I love that. I love the way you think. You
buy
do
this
so well.
Buy this.
I'm gonna have to move Spock though.
Yeah, that's fine. By the standards
Spock over
of her judge, I mean, and only not an A, because she's in a crossfield, not some giant warship, right? Crossfield is not a well-equipped ship. Fuck knows what they do in that universe. It might be controversial, but you've got to register my logic. You know, people of our audience.
I do. Plus, attractiveness, has something to do with it. Anyway.
And really good performance as well.
Yes.
As the second season did a really, really good job. Speaking of who didn't do a good job, Dahl. Don't know why Dahl's on here. He's not a captain.
I didn't.
Not a captain.
Approve nor sanction this list.
Guy who stole a ship, who said I'm a captain. I wouldn't class him as a captain. Did he do a good job? I don't fucking know.
I'd say D.
I'd say D. I don't fucking know. He didn't kill the ship, but everyone did the things that he said. I don't fucking know. Sorry. I don't know.
There's no yeah.
He's also like 12.
And jumping off of that, we got Chakotay. We don't know what kind of captain he is. He lost his experimental ship and got taken prisoner and had his crew like killed or taken prisoner as well. Like,
and by my previous logic, we can't include his Maquis captaincy because that's not Starfleet captaincy. So yeah, very small sample size. But he should be a good captain. I would argue.
Should be. Season 2 of Prodigy might show us how good a captain he is.
God, I'll let you be the judge because I would, conceptually give him higher, but what we've seen is not good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with D.
Yeah, but yep.
Definitely not F. But
no. He didn't get his crew killed. Well, okay. Having said that, he did get his entire crew back, except the bird guy, because they were all on Dauntless, right?
Still a D.
And he sacrificed himself on the planet to get his Protostar out to not destroy the timeline even further. I mean, what does Saratoga lady do? They're not that big, surely. Put him as a C, Stuart. He didn't do much, but he didn't. I need a better than a D. Now I've argued myself.
All right, I'll move them up, but there's no room in C.
Okay, I'll move them to the side, and you can pick the next one.
I put them in C. It's fine.
Okay, I'll move them to the side. You talk about the next one. I'll do some jiggery pokery. Who do you want to pick next, Stuart? Oh, was that you? Oh, that was you. Damn it. Okay, I'll go next.
That was me. Yeah.
Fine, I'll go easy one. Edison Crowell. Well, he tried to kill everyone. So, low D, high F. Because,
yeah, he was Mako as well, so he was a definitely different kind of captain. So,
yep, war veteran captain, Sir Franklin, which was just there to move troops around, got stuck, made his crew transform themselves to live, and then try to kill everybody. F, yeah. Yeah. The more we talk about it, the more obvious he's a bad captain. Okay, you go next, then I'll fix the chart.
All right. Let's make this interesting. Kirk.
All right.
Kirk. Definitely S tier. He is the epitome of a starship captain as well for the era. I think each represents their era very well, Picard and Kirk. Kirk is a man's man. He's kind of all-in-one. He's a diplomat. He's a thinker. He's also an man of action. I think he's the all-around just Starfleet captain. So he's obviously S tier. I mean, he's the one we've seen the most out of, I think. Well, no, I think Picard.
Yeah, Picard for sure.
More Picard. But I think Kirk he's a legend, right? Like everybody aspires to meet Kirk. They're happy to see Kirk. Kirk. Yeah. It's Kirk, for Christ's sakes. He's an S tier. There's no discussion.
Okay then.
Well, you can what are your thoughts?
There's no discussion. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's shockingly balanced. Actually, you associate him with the JJ version of like, wow, he's brash, sex addict. No. No. He's actiony. He's happy to fight. He's happy to flee if to save his crew. He's happy to science.
Yeah.
He's happy to negotiate. He's happy to deal with his worst enemies and take them to dinner and deal with them and be passive aggressive but still polite. Did it. He's happy to break the rules to save a friend. He's happy to break his friend to save the rules. He's happy to save Earth. He does save Earth. He's happy to, I mean, he is shockingly three-dimensional if you watch TOS, and people only remember the extremes. He's really three-dimensional, and the fact that he's personable and also stern, Picard is on the stern end. He has a lot less personability. He wins out as a captain, I think, over Picard in that specific roundedness. Picard is definitely smarter, but Kirk is a more rounded captain because he will do all facets in an effective way. That said, Picard will probably be able to throw in a science idea. Kirk probably wouldn't so much. Even though we know Picard came from a pilot background and Kirk came from, I guess, a command background, I guess. Didn't do anything else. You know what I mean? I think he's not really science.
No.
But
he really counts on Spock for that, for sure.
Yeah. But he's not dumb until TMP when he doesn't bother reading the manual and reports and knows that he always gets them killed for wormhole. But yeah, obviously, yes. I mean, there's no... I mean, he's, he's creme de la creme. Like I say, shockingly dimensional when you break it down. Yeah. Yep.
And Dave and Laura throw in $2.
Thanks so much.
And say, Kirk is S. Kirk is Star Trek.
Yeah. And definitely a guy you'd want to serve under. Even you, Stuart, you'd want to serve under him.
He'd fight for his crew. He'd do anything for his crew and his ship.
He even sacrifice his ship for his crew. It's the hardest things. He loves his ship. You could say more than his crew, etc. Yeah. Anyway, guys, keep sharing your thoughts, comments, questions. We'd love to get a few more 5s. If you guys have thoughts, comments, or questions, or moving people around, that is a power that you guys have. Let's go for another easy one. Esteban of the Oberth. Grissom, yeah. You know what? Gentle guy. He...
Scientist man, for sure.
Scientist man. Not the most self-aware, but I feel like he's a good team player. He's a good team leader. Good for delegating. He's not the top-tier scientist, but he's a guy who understands a broad range of things, is how I would associate with him. He'll lead into his crew. Shitty assignment, but not... I don't think he's a shit captain, I think, because he's like... the guy they send quickly to places to do thing. He doesn't need a big crew, doesn't need a big ship, but they need a quick science guy. Pappy C, yes, he died, but not from his own stupidity. So,
a little bit fish out of water, I think.
Okay.
I'm very happy to see he's definitely doing his job. He was assigned to a scientific mission, but I think once the shit hit the fan, he kind of froze up a little bit.
Yeah.
I should be throwing him in B, not C, not B. Yeah.
Just a gentle captain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Next.
Let's pull in. Oh, son of a bitch. Sorry. Hernandez, captain of the Columbia.
Okay.
She knows what's up. She's a good captain, I think. She even kind of puts Archer in check every once in a while. I think she's a more rounded captain than Archer. We'll get to Archer in a minute, I'm sure. But, yeah, she... from what we saw of her, I thought she was fine. Perfect for the second Warp 5 ship out there. I think she's a good captain.
Yeah, she's a funny one because her status says a lot about, or Archer's and her status compared says a lot. Archer's dad was the guy that invented the engine. He absolutely partially got the command from nepotism and legacy, right? Not to say he didn't also deserve it, but he got it also because, well, your dad also did it. There's got to be a little bit of that. While we never got explicit any information, it certainly vibes that she actually earned it 100%. She was the first officer thought of to take command. Not because her dad was anyone, not because, you know what I mean? Like, there's a certain level of, she earned it 100% herself. And this is probably one of the most important ships ever. The second Warp 5 ship. This was after Zindi, this was after all that stuff where Earth is like, this is such a dangerous location. We are finally venturing out into the unknown. We've never done it before. These ships are capable, but there's battles. You need to be prepared for war that they did not know going into the first original version because they were naive, super underpowered. Like, this is a true rounded captain that's obviously, like Harriman, given this really immense deal. And she's brave, she's strong, she's powerful. She steals a trip. You know, she knows how to get a good team. And nothing in the episode gives me any pause to think she's a bad captain. You know, I mean, I would say give her a B for legacy factor alone.
Mm-hmm. B is perfectly fine. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, let's go from B to Burnham.
Yeah. Oh.
As explicitly then Captain Burnham, only in one season. Remember, one season worth of Burnham. So all other Burnham, gonna put to the side. You know what? She's a pretty decent captain. She's very hands-on. She's brave. She's also stupid, but also brave. She doesn't use her crew that much, except her best friends. She ignores her bridge crew. I mean, you know, she's bold, she's brave, she's stupid, she's, you know.
Claus says it best. She's a competent captain. Yes.
Yeah, but also this is a really safe posting for. She knows the ship, she knows the crew. Nothing here challenges her. She's not been given a 31st century ship with a new crew. It's the easiest thing for her to be on, conceptually, right? She's not being challenged. Although, by God, is Vance doing a dumb thing to give the most important ship in the fleet to the most inexperienced, unreliable, most emotion-filled, most aggressive captain you could have. Anybody else with experience of the future would be better. She'd obviously have some time being a freelancer.
And Lance, she started a war when she was not a captain, so we're just talking about when she was a captain in season 3.
And of course, Takuvma started the war. She started the murder part of the war, but not the war part of the war.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, as far as a captain goes, she's fairly good. They toned her down quite a bit, so they've evened her out, which I think she's fine.
I mean, a happy C.
Yeah.
We'll see what next season does. You know, a good captain knows not to run to the field and start shooting things all the time. And I get the sense from the season 5 thing that was released, she's going to do that again. That's not a good captain move. None of these other captains would do that. Maybe Pike, but I feel like he would know to stay on the ship. Riker wouldn't do it. Equinox guy wouldn't do it. She would, and that's a lower rank move. And captains don't do that. They push forward. Yeah, fine for a C.
Speaking of pushing forward, let's talk about Archer, the first captain out there.
Oh, there we go.
I like Archer. I like his kind of hands-on Wild West approach. But at the same time, I don't like Archer because he's a whiny little brat sometimes. And he was getting his footing. He was trying to figure out what this was all about. Because of him, there's the Prime Directive and all these things. He didn't know what was going on half the time.
But he couldn't.
And yeah, he was very reactionary as a captain. And as a result, I think a lot of times he does come off as whiny, as I said. But he's still a good captain. I would not give him S tier, though, because the refinement that is Starfleet Captains wasn't devised yet. He is usually good with his crew. But at the same time, sometimes he's very standoffish as far as getting advice. He can be a little gruff at times, especially when he's under pressure, which is fine. But I don't think he deserves S tier at all. That's what I'll say and just end that. How about you?
I kind of assumed you were going to fight for S because he's a hero show captain, just for the principle of that.
I love Archer, but I don't think he deserves S.
I'm in a similar boat. he is, you know, the vanillaness of a lot of Enterprise is a failing for the show in general, but he also has the hardest struggles of anybody in this list, potentially.
Yeah.
Besides those who sacrifice themselves, but that, I mean, of the legacies, he's under-equipped, underprepared, under-knowledged, under-experienced. I mean, you can't have experience until Archer, because them going from the local 5-star systems in ships that warp 3 does not prepare you for anything he's doing. So he cannot even have experience. You know, it's like doing combat training and then go out in the field. You think you're prepared until, oh wow, this thing we didn't even know could happen happened. Ah! So you can't judge him for that. He's just, a Navy captain that happened to take a spaceship, right? Everyone else could be trained at the academy. There was no academy yet, right? There was just a building in San Francisco that taught people how to fly spaceships, not the Starfleet thing, not the Federation thing. But that said, he rose to almost all the challenges, right? He was a good leader, a good delegator. He was definitely not science-minded in the same way as some other captains. I mean, I never think of him as being the guy that throws an idea out.
He was idealistic. He was all about exploration. He wanted everything to be daisies.
He's a leader. He's a leader and delegator. Yeah. He's more Kirk than Picard, because Picard I think smarter, but he doesn't have the experience of Kirk or the ship to back it up, because boy, that whole plane goes down. I'll say A on principle, because there's probably more small things I'm forgetting that generate him to be the A, so I'm going to say A. But of course, he did he did an Equinox. He stranded a group of people in Delta Expanse who were most likely going to die. So he killed that crew, probably, in cold blood, probably, to save the crew, to save Earth, grander stakes, and he's the hero, of course. But he did, that's unethical, right? Or is it? But yeah.
Yeah.
Happy A, I would say.
Yep.
Cool.
Let's get this one just out of the way.
Okay.
It's Gomez, Captain Gomez from Lower Decks. The one that spilled hot chocolate on Picard. She was pretty good in that. She had kind of come a long way, it seems. Very competent. I just want to give her a B.
Okay. I was going to say high C, because there's nothing much we could do, but she got a decent ship. I mean, I don't think she has enough to justify a B, though. Well, she didn't do anything in the episode to get her higher. I think a happy C.
We'll throw her at a C.
She earned her place.
Right beside Burnham. Her place right beside Burnham.
Amazing. What a strange list. Let's go 7 of 9. Captain for 35 seconds.
And then Captain of the Enterprise.
Yeah. She didn't do anything as captain. Literally nothing. Well, short of warp, sorry. So how do we mark her, right?
Potential.
I mean, she wasn't a captain for any more than one scene, so I'd say a D under principle if she wasn't a not, And I wouldn't want her as a captain necessarily, given her record of what she's done emotionally. Amazing first officer choice. I said that in the show. I don't think she's the best shout for captain in general. Perfect second officer. But
Yep. All right, Captain Kim.
Ooh.
Don't know anything about Captain Kim.
Ooh. Should I just jump in then?
Yes, please do, because I'm lost.
I mean, Kim's great himself.
He is great. Yes.
This is a guy that warps in against 2 Negvars. Bold. I guess he wins easily, but that's pretty bold. It takes insane bravery to accept deletion of your universe to save your crew. He commits suicide, everything he ever knew, under the idea that there'd be something better. What if he got married and had 4 kids? He had to hope that would happen again, right? Do you know what I mean? Picard did the same thing, yes, Enterprise, although they had to go. Didn't get as much time to think about it. But he sacrificed himself for the universe. No one else has done that in this list, except Picard. And Garrett.
So you want to put him as S tier?
No, no, no. Well,
He deserves it being ensign so long.
If we're going by pure actions, I'll go A, because all he did is save the universe.
That's all he did. Oh man. Hey, you got high standards. Fuck.
I mean, I'm happy to go B just because the stupid thing to put as A. But if all we have is that, you know what I mean? Like, don't shoot the messenger.
It's gonna piss a lot of people off, I'm sure. All right, that's we're down to 4 more left, guys. Just so you know.
Okay, that's good to know. And guys, a few more super chats. We're having fun here.
Pike from the Cage.
Ooh, that's a tricky one, Stuart.
Jeffrey Hunter. He's not a good captain when we meet him. He's experienced some shit. He doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to be responsible for his crew. He doesn't like having all the pressure. So unfortunately, this Christopher Pike gets a lower score than Anson Mount, even though he was the first captain. I feel like a D for just his attitude, but I feel very bad saying that. So please talk me up.
Okay. So
I don't want to be responsible for 250 lives, and I don't want to do that. It's like, relax, bud.
So he. What is the Cage? He went to Talos 4 because he got a stress call. Standard procedure, nothing special about that in that context. He beamed down, got captured, had some hallucinations, refused to give in, broke out of prison, got to the surface, escaped, and convinced them to make a clone of him for Vina to be nice. I mean, there's nothing particularly amazing there, and I certainly agree if you know, his vocals of that. Yeah, I mean, I would say a high D. He's just given so little screen time, you know? I mean, D or a C, but it does feel odd. You are right with the, yeah, you know, yeah.
Put him a D, unfortunately.
Yeah. See, we're not biased here. This is pure instinct, right? Damn.
You're next.
Cool. Saru. Let's double down on my discovery. So Saru was captain in season 3. And he's ranked captain in season 4, but not actually acting captain in any meaningful way. But in 3, he wasn't really captain. He was assigned, you're the last person on the ship that has a rank, therefore be captain for a bit. And then, we found Starfleet, and now... Was he captain when Vance was doing things, or was that... That wasn't Burnham yet, was it? That was... I guess he was captain, I suppose?
But he was, yeah.
But the fact I don't remember him as captain... I mean, he's okay. I know you like him as a character, but as a captain, I think he's mid, really, really mid. You know, I don't think he'd make super hard choices, unless they were going to the future. But like, he was groupthinked. We've talked about that at the time. It doesn't make sense. They could have all beamed off and just stupid choice. I think he's best like a Spock, not to leadership, but to be ranked captain with the respect of. He's a weird personality trait. Like, he's just a nice person with some interesting ideas. But I wouldn't put him at a starship helm, personally. So I'd say C, being generous.
Yeah. I thought he did a pretty good job as captain.
Hey, talk me out of it. I mean, as a character, higher. But as a captain, yeah.
I don't know. Look, his approach to things is quite interesting. He's quite calm and relaxed, and he does take everybody's advice into consideration. I think he deserves between B and a C.
But compared to Ramirez and Harriman, and he didn't earn a command. He didn't earn anything. I think if he gets a ship in season 5, like Voyager J or something, like he didn't do anything, So I think B is out of his range, personally.
Well, I'll lock him in there for now. It's just between the two because I think was a pretty good captain. He had a lot of potential.
Sure.
He's very caring, and I don't know, something about him. I think would make a really good captain.
Well, it's like Harriman, potential captain, right?
Yeah.
Okay, your pick. 2 left.
Dave and Laura. Those are $2. Only way he's is any good is on a serving tray. Oh
wow, that's cold.
All right, we got the Forge left.
Yep. Go to Forge. So timeless.
Captain of the Challenger.
Yep.
He does his duty. He says, I don't care what the hell's going on. I was ordered to come in and bring you back. That's what I'm doing. Plus, I have eyes now.
Yeah.
Hey, again, not much to say. I think he would be a fantastic captain, though. I would easily slot him in at a B.
Although, ironically, the reverse of Kim. He wasn't willing to help save the universe. He was only willing to save his timeline.
Yeah.
And that's the Dauntless chair. I just realized. Huh, nice. So that's the thing. He wasn't thinking greater good. He was thinking, but that's hero, main character syndrome. We know the main character is in theory right to save our universe, whatever. But he's saving his universe.
Yeah.
But then again, timeline multiple. I mean, he got a galaxy. Good on him.
B.
Sure. It's one scene. It's one scene, isn't it? Really. I mean, but he's great in it. Sure.
Yeah. I would have liked to see more of him. So.
Yeah. I'm shocked they didn't do more with him. But it's because he directed. He's there. He's the best cameo because he's on set directing. Like, I love it.
Yeah. And that leaves us with 1 left.
All right. Oh, it's me. Okay, me.
The wrong way and the Janeway.
I don't really get the hate. She kept her crew alive. She kept them strong. She kept them happy. She kept her ship spick and span, which is a hell of a regulation thing. Very styles of her. We've got to keep the ship clean because it keeps us in the zone. Keep our morals. Keep our standards. Yes, I might cause slight death of millions, but I might save billions. But we'll still have that moral compass most of the time. Friendly and stern, very personable, very soft, and yet will beat you up. Not physically. Well, no, she'll physically beat you up. She'll phase rifle you in the face. Very smart. She was a real scientist. I know it's a book, but Mosaic. She's a really, really good scientist. So she's smarter than Picard, I'd say, from a science perspective, because she could easily match like Kim or maybe not Tuvok because Vulcan, but she's right there on the science. She'll throw things out. Military wise, pretty good. She's not shy to fight, but I don't think she's got tactics per se, but she's not shy. She's happy to pew. Very selfless, would sacrifice a universe, did sacrifice a universe to save her universe. I mean, I would say as S as... Oh, we moved her, okay. I would say equally as S.
She's easily an S, yes, absolutely. For all the reasons you said, and just being like a guiding light to her crew and the Maquis crew in the Delta Quadrant, bringing them together and just getting shit done. I think she's a no holds barred, very determined woman, and it definitely did her good. So, yeah.
And I feel like she's the sort of captain that if I was on Voyager as one of the 170, I would feel okay if I had a big problem to go and on her ready room and talk to her.
Yeah.
And feel that openness of communication that I could go straight to the captain and be okay with that, and maybe even ask her to lunch in a month from now, right? Like, she would do that if she's got the day for it. You wouldn't have Picard, really. You'd go to Riker. You wouldn't go to, you would for Kirk. You probably would for Sisko. Well, Sisko's like a small crew. Like, but the Bajorans are going to go to Kira or him if they've got religious, and the Defiant is like 40 people, so he has never had that as a situation. But you would for Kirk, you would for Janeway. Yeah.
And Dave and Laura, $2. She made the hardest call of all and faced the voyage.
Yeah. Alright, let's move the big one out so we can summarize the list. Goodness! Of course, guys, this is your last chance to Super Chat. Move anything you might see fit. There's a lot of things that you might disagree with here. Super Chats are a way of making your opinion felt. But how do you feel now looking at this rather full list?
I think there's room for some shuffling, honestly, but we're really over time. This might be something we should revisit at some point. Oh, man, I don't know. Overall, I'm happy. We did miss a few, obviously, but...
We also included some insane...
And everybody's been asking about the ECH. Well, no, because... Why? He fires a fake weapon.
And also, he wasn't a captain. He said he was a captain. That's different. By that logic, you know, if Captain Kim put a pip in, I'm captain today. Yeah. You know what I mean? Okay. We love you guys, but that's silly. But yeah, it's so fascinating when you put actions and context in place. Because logically, you'd put most of the one-offs in like a C or a D if you're going by like screen time and presence. But that's not how their actions determine their ranking from a as we go perspective. Very interesting.
Yeah, overall, I'm happy with it, honestly. I just know that some people would like a few things adjusted, but hey.
What one would you jump out as being you think a little bit too high or too low? If you just had to throw one out.
Good question. Nothing's really jumping out at me, honestly. I think we did a pretty good job.
I would still only say Ransom at a low C just because of his legacy career. He was so talented at what he did. But that's just not based on what we saw, that's based on what his reputation was. But that's the only thing. It's like, is he really as low as everyone else? You know?
Yeah.
But, you know, mean versus whatever. Yeah. It's a very interesting list. It's a very, very interesting list.
Captain Worf? We never saw Captain Worf, so no.
Nope, never saw Captain Worf. We saw acting captain of the Defiant Worf, but that's not Captain Worf. That's Commander Worf.
Which will come in when we talk about commanders.
Yeah. That'll be a short list, though. Because
it will be.
I don't think we want to talk about literally everyone has the rank of Commander.
No. That's a different list. All right, well.
Wow, yeah. Damn, okay.
Let's end this poll. Which tier does Harriman sit? He did not kill Kirk. B, it wins at 52%.
Hey!
C at 22%, D at 17%, and A at 8%. That's
okay, I feel vindicated
way
there.
different than I expected.
Yeah, me too. I thought I was going to
should we bump him up because of the poll?
Well, no, he isn't B.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I feel vindicated. I feel good about that. Yay. Okay. I mean, Killy's a silly one, I get it, but by the logic of the poll. New York says, Worf is a captain in Star Trek Picard Season 3. Rank of captain, not captain of a ship. These are all captains of ships.
Not in Starfleet anymore, is he?
Also that, yes. Fair point. But he did get captain of Enterprise during the time there wasn't been seen coming.
Dave and Laura, what about Captain Proton?
He was captain of a ship. He's also fictional! Fictional!
They're all fictional, Samuel. I don't know if you knew that.
No. He's fictional within fictional.
Oh,
he's
super fictional.
He's in fictional. Or fictionalception.
And on that note, thank you everybody for joining us. This has been fun. It's not difficult to do. It was a longer one, but I think it was warranted. And I'm pretty happy with the results early on.
Yeah. Really interesting. Really interesting.
Yeah. If you disagree, go back and watch the conversations.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Everything was fair. And put other suggestions of what you think we should rank in the comments below, of course. We'd love to know. And, of course, this weekend, Maria's back for the Christmas Trekyards on Saturday. There is, of course, a Doctor Who as well. So that might end up being a, wow, look, the end of this Doctor Who. You know, it's also that episode as well. But that's exciting. Are you going to be able to watch that episode before the live?
Nope.
Okay.
Sorry, but I won't.
That's okay. We will keep it
And I
spoiler-free.
won't be able to run for the full live either.
No,
'cause
indeed. You got a party! What is awesome.
I got to help Sylvia organize her party.
It'll be the reverse of last time. It'll be in at the start, and then out.
Yeah.
And it'll be versus in and then end. Yeah.
So stay tuned for that, guys.
Yes.
So anyway.
Yes.
Until next time, he's Commander Cox.
He's Catify.